a cold one, maybe a beer.
Okay.
Stay alert in the chat. Giveaway prizes. Heck, maybe we'll give away Uncle Bill's cowboy hat. Jim says sidekick, wouldn't you know? Uncle Extra Medium in the show. Smash that like button and subscribe. Let's all be part of hashtag Uncle Bill's Tribe. Hashtag Uncle Bill's Tribe.
And those chocolate art.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, and all the ships at sea, welcome to Uncle Bill's Saturday night, the day before Easter Hangar Talk. Happy Easter to everybody. Art's showing all this stuff that children would get excited about. He's got his Easter candy there. You know, he's got his Cadbury egg and
chocolate bunny.
Whose buddy
Let him
is that?
get his Easter basket. Mwah.
Yeah, I did.
Mwah.
My sisters had turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy, and
Mashed potatoes.
yeah,
Yeah, I think my wife's gonna make kebabs or something. I don't know. That would be that.
Green bean casserole,
Ooh,
cranberry sauce, muffins. Yeah,
Is it the round cranberry sauce or the
that
other
sounds
kind?
like Thanksgiving.
can in a can.
It does sound like Thanksgiving a
The
little
original,
bit.
the original stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
The good
Mhm.
stuff.
Canned stuff. Yeah.
And stuff, yeah.
Hey, we
Easter
got
Sunday.
Trevor sauce.
And he says it's Easter Sunday there. That's because you're Easter here. Get it?
Yeah.
Easter here. Easter. The sun rises in the east. That's enough.
Yeah, I
Easy.
know.
All right.
Well, you got
All right.
artitis.
East of Sunday. Well, happy Easter to you then, Trevor. And here's to it rising again.
Yep.
Mhm. What do they call Saturday anyway?
And it's
Easter
Friday's
Saturday.
Good Friday and Sunday is Easter. What's Saturday?
it's Monday,
Easter
Saturday.
Saturday.
Vigil Saturday.
What is it?
Vigil?
Vigil. It's Easter Vigil.
Mm.
Waiting for it's the they call it Vigil Saturday because it's the vigil until the Sunday morning, which is
I don't know. I was a
Resurrection.
confirmed Catholic once upon a time. I don't recall that. I mean, I
Yeah,
figured
me
that-
either. I went to Catholic
well,
for
and
several years, and I don't remember
there
that
is
either.
there is probably a more Latin-esque term, but I can't remember what it is.
Mm.
Wasn't he a Mercury astronaut?
No,
Vigil,
he was on the. Yeah.
That's Virgil, not Vigil.
Oh.
Virgil
Yeah,
Grissom.
then the other thing I had a problem with is I could have swore that he was crucified for more than 2 days or 1 day or whatever. But this is after he was buried, and then it was found that he was gone, correct? So Good Friday is the day that he's interred, and then Sunday's the day that they determine that he's gone. Is that correct? That he's missing from the crypt.
No, I don't know.
Good Friday was when he was put on the cross.
Let's look it up. I thought it was 3 days. I actually agree. I thought it was
a day.
There's a fourth day that we haven't mentioned, and it's called Monday, Thursday, and that's Thursday because their days start in Judea. The days started in the evening, not in the daytime.
Right.
So he could have been crucified on Thursday, our calendar, because our calendar didn't even come into existence until years later, till generations later. And
1582.
so it would have been Thursday night for us, Friday night, Saturday night, raising on Sunday.
That's why we have Thursday night.
That's not fair because you're using the old calendar to explain Friday, but now you're ignoring it for Sunday. Because then why isn't it? You see what I mean?
Well, no, yeah, I know. But a lot of the high churches, a lot of high churches celebrate Monday, Thursday.
Hey, Tom.
Okay.
Welcome in.
Hello, Bill. How are you?
I'm good.
It's also
I looked
based
it
on
up.
the Passover week.
Jesus
Hey,
is
Tom.
traditionally believed to have been crucified on a Friday.
And he rose on the third day.
Specifically the day before the Sabbath, Saturday. All right.
tried.
So
He was in the tomb for X amount of time before they
I thought it
discovered
was
And he
3 days. I
shall
thought it was-
rise.
I thought it was
And
3
he
days.
shall
Yeah.
rise on the third day,
Thought it'd be Monday.
which was Sunday.
All right,
On a
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Oh,
Sunday.
okay, got
Sunday,
it.
3 days.
Friday,
Okay.
Saturday, Sunday. So they're counting Friday as a day, not Friday, Tuesday.
I guess.
So
Okay.
the crypt was empty, and only the shroud remained.
The Sabbath starts at sundown on Friday.
Right.
So he would have been crucified, and would have been, he would have been, because if they, like I said, that's what Maundy Thursday
He
is all
finally
about.
succumbed. He finally succumbed to his earthly wounds at 3 p.m. local time.
On
That Friday. On
I would
that
have
Friday.
done it first thing in the morning. Then
Or
you have the whole
Sunday.
day ahead of you. You know.
Well,
So
you know,
wait,
they
so
had
he
a
was
certain schedule they had to
crucified
keep.
and
Bill, they were, you back up on crucifixions, the whole schedule goes out of whack. So
It's like when I get a doctor's appointment. What time do you want? What's your earliest? Because I want the whole rest of the day ahead of me. You
Right,
gotta-
right.
You
Yeah,
know,
of
it
course.
kind of sucks to get up early if you don't have to, but
Of course.
and you know what that does? It actually makes me have a more productive day off because I'm already up, I'm dressed, I'm out and about.
And
The
of
things
course,
you
they
learn
weren't
by
using the
experience,
Julian
Bill, right?
calendar when all that was written either. They were. The only reason I know any of this is because my first ex-father-in-law was a Bible scholar, and his studies were in the Jewish calendar.
Oi.
because we're in the 5700s, I believe. I'm not exactly
Hey, Chuck,
sure.
welcome in.
right.
Trevor, do you have proof? Well, I mean, no more proof than I have that I was born. Piece of paper, something written, something written down.
well, you're sitting there though.
Kind of like the Bible, some, paper, something written down,
Yeah.
allegedly
And
happened, and somebody wrote it
there
down.
again, we don't.
Oh,
do
look
you
at all
see
these!
it
Look at all
there?
this paired stuff going on Artie's channel.
Yeah.
God bless America is on Artie's channel.
You guys are on the wrong channel. Get on Uncle
Paul
Bill.
Murray is on the wrong channel. You.
Look at Art
But it
giggling.
feels so
I'm gonna
right.
start hitting that little check mark that you can't do that. That's what I'm gonna start doing.
I just ignore it. I don't do it anyways.
Well, I know, but who's gonna come to your channel anyway? So.
Oh, snap.
I know exactly. That's why I don't
Okay.
do it. It's just
Okay. So
I
he
could
passed
become
away in one
transparent with
day.
the way- I could become transparent with the wave of a hand. Look at that. See the lines going through me.
Yeah.
Drop
No,
it down
I
there,
was just
and they're gone.
curious.
Right, now there they are.
Yeah, I was just curious. That's all, because I was
Yeah.
always under the impression that he was crucified for 3 days, and then I was also under the impression that he was interred for over a day before they discovered that it was empty.
They interred him the night before Passover. They wanted to do it before
They
Passover.
had to get him
so
in there before sundown
before-
on Friday.
on Friday.
So the crucifixes were rose from the ground at 12 noon, where the three would remain until they perished. Two petty thieves and Christ. And
Right.
then his side was speared by a Roman
Centurion.
who later became
Yeah.
an extension of the apostles.
Later became Ernest Borgnine.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Yes, correct.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then
Also John Wayne.
he succumbed to his wounds at 3
Aha.
p.m. and they had to get him into, at that point, I believe, sundown there was like, 6 o'clock, 6:30.
Okay. I get
Yeah.
it now.
Had
In
to get him in the
December, I don't know.
ground.
I don't know.
Had to get
You
him
know-
entombed.
Maybe because they were in such a rush, they just misplaced him.
No.
Where'd you guys
his
leave the
crucifixion
Christ?
lasted 6 hours. I got
Where'd you
the
guys-
answer.
Where'd you
His
guys leave the
crucifixion
Christ?
lasted 6 hours.
Remember
His crucifixion lasted
the
6 hours.
the shroud remained in the tomb, was later collected.
Right.
Okay, so
Mhm.
that was
Yeah,
proof
so
that he
I
was
got the
entombed.
answer. I got the answer. I'm sorry for even bringing it up. I got the answer. He
And
died
that's
in
how-
6 hours.
And Lon, that's how the Easter Bunny came to be.
Right. He died in 6
put
hours.
those connections
so that's
together.
the answer. Right.
And
That's
in
the answer. He
those
died
other
within
3
6
hours, he
hours.
was interred.
Yeah, the
Buddy was
average
with
crucifixion
eggs.
lasts for 4 days. That's why I was kind of, the
Oh
average
no, he
crucifixion
died at
lasts
the
for 4
beginning.
days.
It was
He died
the
in
third
6
day he
hours.
rose from the dead.
Gotcha.
Crucified died and was buried on the third
He
day.
barely was crucified, quite
It's in
On
the
the
frankly.
prayer.
third day he rose.
And the third day he rose. It's in the prayer. I thought so.
Right.
Yeah.
He barely was crucified because crucifixion is supposed to be a display and a dragged out punishment, not a quick death. And I'm not saying 6 hours is a quick death, but I'm just saying it's quicker than most because 4 hours is the average. 4 days
It
is the average,
depended
rather.
because they would also remember apostles suffered by being crucified upside down, which
Yeah.
that
would be Paul or Peter.
That would be
that was
Peter.
That was Peter. Was it Peter?
Peter.
Yeah, I believe it was
Yeah.
Peter.
Yeah.
And the good old days of settling issues.
And it actually was kind of unique because a lot of times in the Roman rule, they didn't necessarily take him off. They left him up there on the cross for months.
They could only, actually back then it was they could only be removed by family.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his mother was there.
Yeah, but the Romans could have forced them to leave it up there, but I think they were too concerned about uprisings from his followers.
Brad.
Hey, Brad, Don, Michael.
Michael and Michael.
Don, Michael. Michael and Mike, Cole.
Fred.
Yeah.
Warren, Trevor.
Hallelujah.
Jody. Mike. Who else is here? That's it. Oh, Kelly. Ray Kelly. Captain Ray.
Captain.
Oh, there's Ray.
Captain, my captain.
Brian, Waypoint New England. How you doing, Brian? And we're saying hi to everybody, I guess. It just kind of organically started to happen here. Chuck is here from Clover Action Travel, who did a very nice live. I like the format, Chuck. I did.
Yeah.
He called it movie night, and he and
Lori.
Slow down. It comes to me. He and Lori were sitting there on their couch and basically having a movie night. She was eating popcorn. Kind of cool. And they started showing their videos and their trip to New York and then Chicago, and it was very cool.
Very cool.
That was a very cool way to do it. So anyway, I liked it. I mean, Chuck was in it, but still, it was good.
Yeah.
Art's going to do it next week.
Even though
Art's going to
Chuck's
do the
in
same
it.
thing next week.
I always enjoy this stuff.
Well, we killed that stream quick, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's done.
I ran out of stuff to talk about now.
We'll resurrect this stream. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did Good Friday, and we're now going to work on Easter Saturday. And then
I at least want to show that I do have a Covaction sticker on my case.
Yeah.
I'm like.
By the way, and things that I was surprised about, Tom, you're much taller in person than I thought you were. By the way.
Yeah, this chair. Well, problem is I'm using my webcam. I lent my Pocket 3 is out on loan, but I got a ton of stickers at South Florida.
Oh, I did too.
And a ton of hey, listen, the great time about that is getting together and seeing people and interacting. A lot more than we do here. We're able to here.
I had a pocket in the top of my carry-on that I was putting all the stickers. Everybody come by, they'd hand me stickers.
Yeah.
Well, when I went to get on the plane and I had to go through TSA, they tagged me, and I was like, they had to search my carry-on luggage, and they had to search. It was a nightmare, getting back on the plane. And somewhere along the line, I lost my damn driver's license.
Oh my goodness!
So when I came back,
did you check
Florida,
it with your chief?
It turned out that the bag that this is what I started putting all the stuff in that I collected was because Bill gave me one of these. Well, apparently I didn't sort through it good enough, and when I was looking for stickers to put on that case, there was my driver's license. So I managed to find my teeth and my driver's license. So I didn't lose
Oh.
anything.
It's all in the bag.
It's all in the
All
bag. I
bag.
just didn't look in the right damn bag.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
Got
bag.
Roy,
wedged in between stickers.
I do have a real ID now.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Oh,
look
It's
at my
important.
driver's license, and it's got the little star.
well,
And
don't get crazy. It doesn't make you a real person.
You're still not real to anybody.
You know,
Yeah.
you're an
Aw.
AI character. We know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And if
so
you
they
don't
switched to
already
real
have
IDs.
one,
Huh?
get a passport
Oh.
card.
Yeah.
The whole country was
Yeah.
supposed to go to real IDs a while ago. It's about time Colorado caught up.
May
Yeah.
2025. May 2025. That's
Yep,
the date
that's right.
across the board.
They're just making it under the wire.
They're just
Yeah.
making it. Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
A fidget
They
spinner.
were supposed to get real ID, but then they got high. Mm. And then they got
I got
high.
I was going to go down and have to get a new license and everything. I thought,
Speaking
well,
of
I'll
which,
just get a real
I'm gonna eat
ID.
the whole
So,
gummy.
gonna eat the whole thing, huh?
Well, Colorado's catching up, and I know why. Because they got high. Because they got high. Because they got high.
They must be high. The people they keep putting in office there.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
We got Joe Fodolio.
Kumba.
Oh,
Michael Blade.
Michael Blade.
Michael Blade.
Michael Blade from Arizona. How you
Arizona.
doing, Michael? You doing, Joe? Okay. There's 20 people according to the thing here. So
Lies.
Oh,
hello, Mario.
Mario.
Why?
Mario has a question,
Mario.
please. Okay. Okay. You don't have to be so damn
Luigi
polite.
did it.
Just ask your question.
Yeah.
Hit us.
All right.
Luigi did it.
Mhm.
Can't wait for his
Luigi's the
question.
father.
Let's go to Mike. Let's go to his channel. Mario has no subscribers.
Oh,
However, he created this channel in October 22nd, 2020.
Oh.
No content, no subscribers. So let's hear this question.
It's a him, a Mario. Do you have a question? You don't want to propose it. You just want to
What is
propose
the
the
question?
idea that you have a question.
Please. Por favore.
Yeah. Prego, por favore.
Prego, por favore. Prego means
I
you're
don't know,
welcome.
man.
It means like you're
I know.
welcome. You're
Por
welcome. You're
favore.
welcome, please.
Yeah.
Please, you're welcome.
Oh, boy.
no, here we
Yes,
go.
January last year, Chinese. If that's your question, then yes, that's true. That happened. Yeah,
That happened. Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know if it was the
January.
entire country. I wouldn't go so far as to say it was the entire country.
No, from Alaska to the East Coast is.
Yeah, it
Did it
went,
make it all the way to the East Coast? I thought they
Oh,
shot
Oh,
it
yeah,
down.
they shot it down over
Yeah,
the
they-
ocean.
shot it down over the
Yeah, they waited until it crossed into the ocean. They shot it down there.
and then shot it
Did
down.
it hit California?
No, the East Coast.
East Coast. It went
I
all
know.
the way.
I'm asking because we're talking
No,
about the
it came
entire
in
country.
from came in like around Alaska-ish, and then
Went on right across where all the northern.
yeah, maybe Washington.
Yeah,
like
Montana.
North Dakota or something.
Yeah, across the Dakotas, where a
Yep.
lot of the NORAD bases and stuff are at. The B-52
Oh, yeah.
bases up there. You know.
Nothing to see here.
How do you
it goes
feel
through
about
countries,
that?
states like Montana or Dakota, the Dakotas or whatever. We didn't want to shoot it down. It might come down crashing and hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Who? A coyote?
Yep.
A
Oh,
Mario,
you
no,
gotta watch out for the buffalo. You don't want to hurt any more than you.
How about
Than you
Russ? It might fall on his Neo they dropped from his drone. Yeah,
Yeah.
Russ 51 drones.
Well, how do you feel about it? I don't know. The same way I feel about all the spy missions we fly over China. You know what I mean? I don't really care. How about
Look
that?
at that. Made it to the lighthouse.
Look at that.
Made it to the lighthouse. I mean, that's
Man,
that's
I
the
have so much
Jupiter.
footage of the stupid lighthouse.
Tom, that's the Jupiter one, right?
Yeah, Jupiter Lighthouse from what is that? Du Bois Park.
Where'd you guys fly from?
Du Bois
The business park?
Dubois.
From the park right there by the jetty.
Oh, you guys got away with it, huh? If the sheriff is around, they'll chase you away.
No.
Me and
You
Billy got
can't
chased away.
launch. You can't launch from the lighthouse park.
Right. I got
You
chased
can
out
launch
of,
here, no problem.
I got chased out of the lighthouse.
This is a puckering moment. You know, you get those every now and then. They come along. good for the
Very
soul.
nice.
Oh my! A crane!
Yeah.
Oh my God! It was a crane. It almost got you.
Mhm.
It did not. What
Thank-
drone are you flying?
Thanks for 3X. Nice 3X.
Is that the Air
geez.
3S? Is that the
No,
Air
the
3S?
Air 3S, but using 3X zoom.
Yeah, but you had your stupid
I
obstacle
had plenty
avoidance
of
would have
them.
saved your ass. Your obstacle
Not in
avoidance would have
sports
saved your
mode.
ass.
Not in
Oh,
sports
you're in
mode.
sports mode?
Sports mode?
Yeah.
Maybe you say so. Why?
Huh?
All right,
I
but
Why do
wanted
it
to
in
get the
sports mode?
speed. It was easier for me to control my speed. I have
Okay.
more of a range. I have more of a range in sports mode.
Okay.
Then you got vision assist on at least.
And I like manual tracking. I mean, I'm a
Hey,
pitcher,
Bob.
so I like the manual tracking.
No, I like manual tracking. Did you have vision assist on at least?
No, I actually didn't. I wasn't paying
Uh.
attention on that accord. So yeah,
Mm.
that might have helped. But
Vision
I
assist
had
is shit.
actually I had visual line of sight because I saw that crane where that crane was. I was well outside that, but on 3X zoom plus, the way that background speeds by real quick really puts that subject in front. So
Mhm.
that's a great drone. That thing flies in wind with little regard. So one of the many drones that were up, Bill, during the actual meetup.
Uh-huh.
There were a bunch of 3S's up.
Well, as long as you showed that.
Uh-oh. I'll see your Air 3S video of Jupiter and see you
Well, no, I mean, I happen to have a video.
Oh,
I would care to share.
See it.
It's been on my channel a while. This one here. Let's make it big.
Yeah, let's
Right.
do that.
know. Oh, good.
All
Right
right.
on.
So this is not the first time I flew to Lighthouse. This is the Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse here.
So yeah, this is further down, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was further down, and we were at the beach this time. The first time I flew it,
being stubborn,
I did it from directly across the
fly
water.
From across, yeah.
lighthouse.
That's a great
from
spot
where we
up there.
were.
Yeah, there's a shopping center. There's a shopping
And
mall there.
Boy, am I
mall
glad
there.
I did because
And,
Oh,
uh,
you
right
do
next
it
to
from
it,
that,
there's
yeah,
a-
from back there. Yeah,
there's
we were in the
actually a-
park.
There's actually a restaurant with a boat launch attached to it. So right there, it's open, so you can kind of in between the buildings walk right to the edge there, and just fly it straight across. But this one, that was a pretty good distance.
Hey, is that construction done? Is that construction done of that bridge?
No,
now?
they're dredging. The bridge construction is now done.
Oh, good. I got crap ton of footage of that bridge construction.
Now this is my Air 2S, by the way. There was a nice little jerk in the video there, and another one. It's beautiful, nice and smooth.
Smooth.
I did pretty good around my orbit. I think it was manual. You'll see.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Well,
I tell you what,
and I
everybody
did this for no reason at all. Okay, we'll do that.
people all the time want to call out the mini drones as the ultimate travel drone, and I think they're insane. The Air series is the ultimate travel drone because you can launch it from anywhere. You don't have to worry about it. The minis can only fly in certain conditions. Airs can fly pretty much at any time.
I see
And the
people.
Air 3S
see
is
the
like the
people-
fastest drone. Yeah, see the people up there. Yeah.
Yeah. If you watch, they weren't bothered by me. Eventually, they wave. Yeah. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. Yeah. Somebody waves.
Aw.
I should probably zoom this in.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. Oh, see that guy pointing at it? Hey, look, there's an alien. We're being observed.
Look, it's one of those New Jersey drones.
I don't know. You probably can't see it, but the one guy was literally twice he pointed at the drone.
Yes, he did sell his Air 2S at the South Florida Drone Meetup.
He did.
Who's the
Some
sucker that
lucky
bought that?
soul. Some lucky soul got it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be leaning back on that rail. I wouldn't trust it.
No, I
Well,
don't
as you
care
can
how.
see, I
Yeah,
took a
no.
second pass around the lighthouse.
Window?
A little closer.
Who's that?
Got a couple of waves. No one seemed to mind.
Oh. Okay, here's
Then I
one for
decided it
me,
was
and
time
this
to
is
bring the
raw as
drone
hell.
back.
You ready? Or are you
We're
still
about
showing yours? I'm
3/5 of a
sorry.
mile
Yeah, I
away.
am. As a matter of fact, I know that.
I thought you were
Look
Look how
talking.
beautiful this is.
You're
This
talking
this
in the
The thing that
video.
concerned me more was the numerous channel
I know
revealing
that
39 feet.
I talk and then I go back to music again. That's what I
No,
do.
it's okay, but I thought you
Right
were
there.
talking.
Oh,
I
it's
can't
cool.
see
Look
you
how
Right
right
beautiful!
now.
water
Look
with
how
your own
beautiful
little
this
private
inlet is, though.
beaches.
This is sharp down there.
Not bad.
I'd like to have one of these properties. I'm ignoring your lawn.
Go ahead.
In any case,
Imagine.
I'm having trouble telling which is the recording and which is Bill.
That's what I'm
I'll
saying.
let you listen to a little more music instead of
That was my point.
my ramblings.
I'm sorry, Lon. You're right.
You were talking, and I was like,
I got like 20 low aircraft warnings while I was doing this. I remember that. Nice setup. This guy has a boat here dries on. All right, let's move on to these two lines.
Let's get
You
on. Going home.
There we go.
Yeah,
Maybe,
Dusty.
Lon, maybe next time you come to Florida, any of you guys come down to Florida, we'll go to that beach and fly. It's nice there. Yeah, yeah, and obviously
Awesome.
not that far.
it's so
Nice
funny.
white
I put
sand
one
beach.
up.
Did you?
I put one up too,
All right.
and I think I'm sharing, and it's super duper rough. It might even be in D log. I'm not sure, but it's just funny. We're doing this stupid lighthouse, so I just thought I'd join in for fun.
Okay,
Let me know when you're ready.
it's up.
Oh, is this almost the same exact? Is this the same one? Wait a minute. Is this a different lighthouse?
No, it's the same one.
That's
Hey,
same
why
How
way.
did I
not?
catch it with no people there?
Right. Look at that. No people. Yeah, I didn't have many people.
Oh, they got the light covered up.
Yeah.
Maybe they're working on it. Maybe that's why
They
there
had,
was no
yeah,
people
they
there.
were yeah. That was what, like 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
Was it last year?
Okay. I don't know why it just froze up like that. Let me jump ahead and see what's.
It was
Yeah,
a
don't
little
look at me,
it was a little choppy at first.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with the.
Was
yeah,
mine
whatever.
choppy?
Anyway, you can stop sharing.
When you guys were watching mine, did it jump a little bit? Was it? Did you get a little
No.
chop?
No.
No.
No, just when your hand jumped.
When I made it do it, yeah.
Oh man, these are your friends.
I know.
Yeah.
Right.
My mind went somewhere I'm just not even
If
good.
they weren't, they wouldn't speak up.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I'll keep telling myself that too.
Just start Sizzle's boat right there.
Yeah. Okay, you can stop sharing if you want. I'd have to look. I got a crap ton. Me and Billy are like the kings of chasing boats, like 10 feet behind them. We got a crap ton of that footage, man. Just insane amounts of just chasing boats.
Cool.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody got any other videos they want to show?
Oh my God.
You,
No. I got so much video, it's not even funny. But almost none of it is actually edited.
No, it takes like effort.
No, you know what? Nowadays, if I want to be honest with myself, technically, I could just throw it into light cut, maybe make some clips, and then just let light cut do it, and then just live with the results. You know what I mean? Just be like, yeah, whatever. It's better than nothing kind of mentality, I guess.
There's a shot I threw up, Bill.
Let me huh? Okay, one second. I was looking for another video. You got one in there, Tom?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
there
have
it
it still.
There it is. Nice.
That's just a shot I took.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty.
Where was that at?
Hutchinson Island.
Was that Sunday?
Yeah, I was gonna say that it looks like Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, it was Sunday.
That was Dalman Beach Park.
Almond Beach. That is what? That's Hutchinson Island, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Hutchinson Island is.
Hutchinson Island. Yeah.
It runs the whole. I mean, that's what makes the intercoastal for Florida anyway.
Right.
Was Florida Intercoastal Hutchinson Island runs.
Bill, I do have a sunset video if you'd like to play that.
I have a video I did when I was on a boat. I could have sworn with Maddie, and it's of a different lighthouse, and it's kind of cool. It's like a swirling candy cane, red and white. And I wanted to show that, but I can't. It's not on
Like
my
a
channel.
barber pole.
But I could have sworn I posted it because I had to pull the music out of it. I remember that because he started blasting from the boat. I wasn't even on the boat at the time. We were on the sandbar, and he was blasting music loud from the boat. He got onto my video, and so I had to. That's the first time I peeled it out. There you go, Lloyd.
Oops, gotta get over on the right window here.
Oh, there's another. I'm sorry. Who did I skip? Somebody? Somebody else has one.
No.
Yeah, I thought I was next.
Oh, Art. I'm sorry. I'll get you next.
Oh my God!
I just no I got that little notification drop down and I just clicked on it. I didn't mean to skip it.
Sorry about that, Art. I didn't mean to.
Step all over his toe.
I need to slow down on that. Yeah, it's like
Beautiful.
Well done.
That's what you see just before you hit the deck.
yeah. This was like the first day I flew it. I think first time I flew it. So
Cool.
Yeah. Taken with that same Air 2S that the Lighthouse was shot with on yours.
Yeah, that's it. Same one. Works good. Yeah. I mean, you're making it look like you're fighting the wind. I know you're not.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I hadn't been on stick controls in 2 years. So it'd been a while since just getting used to everything. Because I fly with the motion controller when I fly the Nevada.
And the filter's not on it either. See, that ocean would have looked so much better.
Yeah. I put the filters on it after when I came home. I still got some video.
But you weren't using one here.
No, I'm not using one here. No.
Yeah, no.
It would have been nice. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, MD32 at the beach.
Yeah.
Something like the ones I gave you are they're PL. Shit, I'm getting old. What's that rating? It takes the glare off the water.
Polarizing filters.
Polarizing. Yeah.
NDPL.
Right, that's what they are.
Anyways,
Right, I got the daytime kit, but any of them would have made that look better. Even an 8 would have made.
Yeah.
That
Oh
look
yeah, definitely. It would make the green pop, and it would
Yeah.
would really cut the edge on those highlights.
I was running either 16 or 32 pretty much all the time. The sun's always bright here.
right.
Yeah,
That
same
works,
Bill, same out here with the desert. I mean, I
Yeah,
always
absolutely.
have to go with like an ND32. Is the
We can
safest
stop
bet.
doing that now because
Yeah.
I'm getting dizzy.
Well, I
Sometimes
think
even
the
at high noon, 60.
last time I flew it, I think it was dusky or something like that, so I took it off.
Yeah, it would have been so much nicer if I'd
hilarious.
have put the damn filters on.
That's
Yeah.
okay. You can color grade
nice
that.
round.
Oh, you
Yeah.
found the instant look straight down
I
button.
know.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, by accident, I think. Yep. And some more friggin' water.
More water.
More water. Yeah, lots of water. Yeah. Didn't get nowhere near it, but I took some good pictures of it.
Yep.
Sweet.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Oh, he said shore for water.
See, that's good right there. But as long as the sun's wrecking it.
Yeah.
Flipping sun. How dare
That's
you.
sun.
That's
This could be easily graded though. I would think. Don't you think, Lon? Lon, you're the
think
grade
so,
king.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me see.
Yeah.
Actually. Okay, what's he doing? Oh yeah, that's easy.
Yep.
Uh,
You could bring that right out. Make that blue.
yeah, easily.
The water.
Yeah, just
more blue
maybe
gray.
change the tint and go to your wheels, maybe.
Yeah.
Or hell, just up the saturation might fix it.
Yeah.
Because the color looks balanced. It's just if you just saturate it a
Yeah,
little bit more.
yeah. It's just got too much
Too much glare. Your biggest problem is all that glare.
All that damn glare. And it had I've never used ND filters before either. So this was I have some for my Avada one that I won from Ken Heron.
Oh, yeah, I never even showed you how to put them on the.
No, I learned. I figured it out. I figured it out.
Okay.
Yeah. I finally figured it out. After I saw these videos, I thought, well, bullshit. I got to put my ND filters on because I don't want any more of this crap. So.
Have you guys lost a filter? I mean, I guess it works, but just the way that we attach them on DJI drones, that tiny little click that it's in place. I'm always nervous with those things. Like
definitely on the Mini 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Now the Mini 2 didn't have the frame come off, replaced with a filter.
Just had that little
you had to get filters that actually had clips.
Clips,
clips on the back.
Went over the top. It went right over the top of the. They were a pain in the ass to put on. But I lost one of those, but that was that was in Austin.
Anyways, that's that.
Okay, well, stop sharing it. There you go.
I will.
Thank you so much. All right.
Enough of that.
I'm going to get you in a second. I was in Austin and at the FPV event, spin down, at the end of the spin up, and I didn't have FPV. I had my Mini 2. That's all I brought with me. Because I packed that and that was that. But anyway, they were shooting gates, So I took the Mini 2 and I started shooting gates with the Mini 2, which with a filter on my nut. I did hit one of the gates and whacked it, and it went down. And I didn't notice because I didn't fly it after that. And even if I did, I might not have noticed anyway. But I didn't even notice that I lost one of my filters. But anyway, that's the story. Hey, Artie.
All righty.
Let me see. That's Tom. There's Articus.
Articus Maximus.
This is at Talinga, Mindanao.
Oh.
This must be in the Philippines, huh?
Yeah,
I reckon. Yeah.
No way.
Oh wow, yeah.
Mindanao, the place where my wife says, "Don't ever go." Mindanao, don't go. She said. Her father was shot there twice. He was law enforcement.
In the Philippines?
He was law enforcement. Mindanao.
Oh, Mindanao. Gotcha.
Fighting the Muslim insurgents.
Oh,
Which still exist in Mindanao. Yeah.
Yeah, you think what's his nuts would have gotten rid of them?
They sustain themselves in large part by kidnapping tourists and
guys like you and me, Bill.
Yeah, it might stand out a bit.
Yeah, just a bit. Petite. That's what we're known as. White.
Yeah.
Nice clouds.
And this is with the Avada too.
Nice.
That is nice. That is kind of cool.
Why don't you maximize the screen, Artie, so we can see it better?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
how about I do that?
Why not?
There we go.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
So this is the resort that I stayed at.
Oh, this was on your last trip, wasn't it?
Where's the resort?
Yeah.
These are stables, right?
And this is totally a joke.
Hey,
total joke.
Bill, those stables.
This is where he met
those
his
stables come with a maid and a houseboy.
I'm sorry. I was just kidding. It's
oh, there I am, right there.
It's quaint.
Here I am, coming for a landing. Come in.
You're the shit, Art.
Look at them damn feet. He could pass for a
I'm
hobbit.
so glad I got to see Art's feet.
Yeah, it sort of looks like a hobbit.
I was just going to
see that guy's face. He's got it right.
Was
there.
that the shot? Was that the Shire actually? Because it looked like a hobbit.
There we go.
Trixie Hobbitses, my precious.
That was just after second breakfast.
That was very nice, Art. All jokes aside, it was very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Art, you ever think of living there full time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to live there full time. Yep.
Yeah.
He's trying to
Be
get you to
king.
start talking about
That'd
it.
be King Art.
King Art.
King
yep.
Art.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep.
There's never been a King Art. Oh, wait a minute.
King Arthur.
There's a
I
King
know it's a
Arthur,
joke. That's
not
the
a
joke,
King Arthur.
buddy.
You got it? Yeah.
That's the
Good.
joke,
Oh, wait a
buddy.
minute. Of all the names of kings that Americans don't know, because we don't, we know that one, and he's not even real.
We know all of them because they're all basic ass names like
We only
Edward
believe
and
in the real
John.
ones, in the fake ones.
Charles. Yeah, but tell me something
Charles.
about them.
Let's see. One had a really bad case of syphilis. One
Yeah,
was
one.
like semi-retarded.
William III was bloodthirsty,
It's
and
King George III. They
Yeah.
thought was whatever.
Henry
You know what?
liked to bang bitches and kill them. They
Yeah, but
don't
no,
move
but
on
these
to the
guys
next
did a lot
one.
more than that. By the way, you know, we know the
On to the next one.
we know their personal crap. Apparently,
King John signed the Magna Carta.
Magna Carta.
Yep.
They had
There you
huge
go.
effect on the Western world. Each one of them.
Richard the Lionhearted was only in England for about 11 months of his 10-year reign.
Yeah, he's out killing bitches.
Yeah, he's out killing fools.
Well, he was out killing, and he ruled. He didn't rule from England. He ruled from France,
Well, he had to.
or from
He was busy.
Yeah.
Busy.
And that's where
Living.
the
there's a
saying.
mod I did, Bill.
King John was forced into signing the Magna Carta.
Yeah.
Why are you showing that to me? Damn it.
Well, I was showing you. I was showing you the mods I put on it.
Oh, mods. What'd you put on
Yeah,
it?
mod.
All right. Well, wait a minute. Let's. That's mod, man. Let's see.
Yeah.
Little sticks.
little thumbsticks.
Put little.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
mushroom
Yeah.
sticks.
What's wrong with the ones that come on it?
Well,
It's too long for him.
They're too long for me, man. My thumbs,
Oh,
my
giggity.
thumbs stick
Oh,
up like
okay.
this.
Oh,
Now
that's what
they
she
rest
said.
right
Never
there on
had
the
a problem
pad.
with that.
Yeah.
well. There's another reason that I can understand that, because you probably never even went inside and set the sensitivity of the sticks, did you?
No,
Because
no, I haven't
they're
done-
pretty
yeah.
tight out of the box, and I
Yeah.
noticed that, and I never got around to adjusting them.
Yeah,
Of course,
I haven't
I
either.
only used the thing like 3 times, but you know.
Right, but I've used as
I
much
know.
as you have.
I
man.
know a few people. See, that's very close to. I know a few people who have removed the sticks entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know a couple
Slide
people
with
that
the
do that
pads.
too.
Yeah.
there was this
I've
gal
flown
that
it
was
like
on.
that.
You can take me off full screen now, but there was this.
No, I'm enjoying this.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Ah.
You cutie patootie.
Anyways,
The person that's like, no.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
No.
Oh,
Wait, yeah, but there's not enough boxes. Tom's not here. All right, we got to pick a different
yeah.
one.
Oops.
We could do this one. There we are.
Oh, there we go.
ah,
So, anyways, this gal that when Ken Heron was tracking people with his, with that tracker program, and these gals that were flying there, he tracked them down.
Wait, I'm sorry, Lloyd. I'm going to interrupt you. I'm having trouble understanding you sometimes, like you're cutting out.
Am
So
I
your
really?
hand, when your hand is up here, I get every word you're saying, okay? But your hand keeps leaving the screen, and then and then I can't understand it. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Anyways, she flies without the stick, and she has no sticks on there, and he was blown away by it, and I thought that's a good idea, so I started looking for 3D models so I could print off, and I printed those. I modified them a little bit where they had, because the ones I downloaded originally had the jagged edges like the original sticks do.
Yeah.
Well, that's uncomfortable, so I wanted it smoothed out and walk. Art, I'm going to smack
so
the shit out of you.
It was uncomfortable
It was uncomfortable.
delicate.
Yes.
under my little thumb.
Yeah. Hey, I have no joint. I have no cartilage in my thumbs, and it hurts like hell to use them. So it's like, yeah,
Okay. All right. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
That's from Hitchhiker's
Anyway,
Guide, Art.
that's cool.
Quit it with the elder abuse.
Now, what did you use for this? Because they're pretty tiny stems, pretty slight stems. You went with a printed stem, or did you put metal in it?
No, well, on those particular ones, there's actually the screw sticks up a little bit, and all I had to do was add the hole in there, and I just screwed it right down on it.
Onto that.
Hole in
Okay.
there.
I just screwed right down onto the little stem.
All right. So there's no danger of breaking anything, or
No.
Yeah.
It's not going to break off in the controller because On this controller, the stems actually stick out, and you.
I think I got it confused. The FPV, the DJI FPV controller,
right?
That has tiny, real thin little screws. And every time I use it, I think, God, these could break easy. And I think I was thinking those were like that too. I don't, because I didn't take them off. I didn't.
Right.
I never took them off.
Yeah.
I had that cover from the time I got it. So.
But yeah, I took them off to look at them, and I thought, man, I wonder if I could do this. And so I tried it. I made 2 or 3 different versions. I made a bigger version, which is a little bit more thumb space, but I had to make them taller because as you're moving it forward, that
edge
excess there gets caught on the edge of it. So yeah.
Right.
But I like those white ones. They're the most comfortable to use. So, and they work. So, cost me about 5 minutes time to print them.
Actually, with short sticks like that, I would definitely lessen the sensitivity on the sticks in the
on the
software.
sticks. Yeah, I think I will.
Yeah, because you're gonna be jerking all over the place with really short
sticks.
Really short.
Yeah.
Really, here I'm going to use my hand up on the screen now, so
okay, yeah, so we can
really
see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the leverage, right? I mean, the longer. Just saying.
Yeah, you have that
You want
longer
short like
throw
that
on,
because it's comfortable. You're going to have to adjust the sensitivity because it's going to. What are you guys saying?
I walk around on short sticks. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Don's thinking about putting 5-inch sticks on his. Oh wow.
Oh yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So he can feel at home with a friend.
Feel at home. You probably might think about 3-inch sticks then.
With a friend.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Almost like riding the Blue Origin.
You can see somebody say, "How did the controller get damaged? How did you pulled the sticks right off?" Anyway,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's funny. You're very funny. All right, that's enough.
Funny. That's all funny.
Yeah, really. Take me off.
A bunch of wise guys, huh?
Here's a guy who likes to be big. Right there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors. It's already
hams it up for everybody.
Who decided, to deconstruct his apartment and make believe he was moving.
Art? I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he even was looking for people to help him move.
I'm telling you.
Noticed that he needed help moving.
You said that guy's moving to another building. I'm telling you, walk up to him and say, hey, because who knows what rent he's paying over there. So just say, hey, the rent over at my place is, as long as you can say that. I mean, your landlord may be planning on raising it once you're out of there. Find out what the landlord's going to want for your apartment. Tell the guy, maybe it's a better deal for him. And he can help you move the furniture back and forth between. What? He's just down the hall. He's in the same building. Well, shit.
Yeah.
Your refrigerator, crap. Put in
a half level low, isn't it?
You put a nice long extension cord. You never even have to unplug the refrigerator.
Good point.
Yeah, just wheel the fridge.
Yeah.
Hey, Ed.
Hey, Ed.
Yep.
Ed's here?
Yeah.
Hi, Ed.
204 Winnipeg Drone Life is Ed.
I would have never guessed what that meant. So, all right. So it seems like he's a good guy, right?
Yeah, he is.
He's a nice guy.
Oh, there he goes. He's now.
I think about it, maybe.
He's now a moderator, so nobody can mess with him since he's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Aww.
It's the way I am. It's not so much people monitoring. There's 1 or 2 guys in here that would knock out that's all you need. They would knock out an idiot like that. In fact, sometimes a little too quick. But hello, Brenda.
Hey, Brenda.
Yeah, we wouldn't have an audience without idiots.
But it's more so people don't get stupid.
Wouldn't have a panel.
It start messing with people. They can't mess with anyone regularly.
They get a bit rowdy sometimes.
Yeah.
How about them drones?
Exactly.
How about them drones? Yeah.
Oh, look at Cool Cat just analyzing that shit. Okay, let me see here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Really?
Oh, really? You really think so, huh, buddy?
Well, I was way behind. Here it is. Ta-da!
Yeah.
I guess you're on 200. I would have to take your word for it that it's at 200. But in any case, it is adjustable. So You make it comfortable. You get sticks that you like better, and you make the controller work properly for the sticks that you got. That's all. That's all.
Yeah. Tweets your
That
own.
I just
then you-
realized I forgot to take your. I got to take your number and put my number on it. I've still got your flight number on there.
Ooh.
those-
Yeah, what have you been up to? I got to, with my. Actually, I've already unregistered it from that number. So,
Oh, okay.
you know,
Well,
if you
there's
get
this
caught with it,
incident.
it's on you, brother boy.
Yeah.
There's this incident that we're not going to talk about, but I'll send you the picture later, Bill.
Giggity. Yeah, I'm
Actually,
filing through my
I'd
videos
actually
right
put it
now.
under my number before you deregistered under yours, so it was registered to both of us that because I did that the first day I got home.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah. Well, probably. Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Yeah, no, that was still
went to
registered. Yeah, that was still registered. Yeah, it was. Yeah, but are you 107?
No, I'm not 107.
Oh, neither
no.
am I. So, but I actually opened 2 accounts. I opened the 107 account, and because I thought I was going to go get the license, and I had
I
the
did
drones
too.
on that.
I've
Yeah.
got
And I never did. So I opened the entrepreneur or whatever. Not entrepreneur. What's the other one called? You got 107 and
and
droning
the
Oh, yeah.
Recreational.
recreational.
Yeah,
Well, I got a now
that's my
that
recreational number. What's
now
that?
that everything's simpatico and I'm back home and the Florida drone meetup is over with, I had let my FAA thing expire back last year and I hadn't renewed it until I got, and so I was flying without having my little trust card. And, it was all out of date.
You know,
Oh, my.
You're a lawbreaker.
what kind of conservative are you? What the
Boy,
fuck?
you're living on the
Not
edge.
and not how.
Living on
Yeah,
the edge.
I was a bad boy.
Let's talk to Tom. Tom came in. He's been really quiet. Hi, Tom.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hello,
Tom.
Bill. How's everybody doing? Yeah, same to you.
We're doing fine. I'll do an RD question. What's the weather like there in Nevada?
The weather is currently 72 degrees with
Nice.
clouds
72.
and
not bad.
a mild wind.
We are similar to here, 76 right now.
64 in Muskogee.
Humidity is sitting at 28%.
Yeah, mine's a bit higher
I'm
than
just
that.
converting.
I'd imagine mine's a
there we
little.
Just by a factor of 3.
And
Well,
67
actually, if you
here.
click on the link, it gives you an update. It's actually 73 right now. And the humidity is 65%.
Nice.
Yeah, but 65 really doesn't feel like anything here.
Yeah, you don't.
I was out
Except-
here today. I didn't feel any humidity.
Before.
That's nothing.
Are-
When I got off the plane in West Palm, I felt it.
Yeah.
Right now,
What
my
you used to.
humidity is at 92%.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, that's nice and soupy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 64 degrees,
Yeah.
so it's just not
Oh,
comfortable. I had to turn my
64.
heater back
Yeah.
on.
No, it's like it's
67
not
and
soup.
64.
That's more like borscht.
It's like
Yeah.
stew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been
cold,
raining.
cold soup.
Yeah, it's been raining since yesterday evening, and it's still expected to rain tomorrow. So we got flash flood warnings and all that happy horse crap.
44 degrees here. 27% or 49% humidity here.
44, huh?
Yep.
In April. Wow.
Yep.
Late April, even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so just
It's supposed to be autumn here, and we're getting some warm temperatures.
Hey, not that I'm asking for anybody to say anything, but I'm going to throw this out here. It's what it's been going through my mind that my birthday's coming up, and
Yeah.
Sure.
Haven't
as
forgotten.
a young man, I used to hear this song. I used to think, yeah, if I lived that long, and I'm
When I'm
about to hit it.
64.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Or
And that'll be Easter Monday. But
Yeah.
it's a
Tomorrow
miracle.
for me.
But it's a
Congratulations.
miracle. But the thing is, I'm only bringing it up because I honestly would think that getting older,
Oh, yeah.
am I gonna? Because my family history, I've mentioned it before. They all died young, So, but beating them.
Congratulations.
Yeah, but it's just
Yeah.
kind of funny.
Thing.
So now I got to find another song where somebody's like 80. We'll have to make
Doesn't
one
it
up.
go up to 80? And doesn't that song make it to 80 or something like that?
Is there a song make it to Haiti? I don't know.
No, doesn't that exact song go further?
We're gonna use some AI and put together a song like When I'm 64, but for Tom, pick an age.
65 and 6.
Yeah,
I
you
thought it
got to
went
make
higher
it.
than that.
You go in short spurts now, Bill. Don't go past 70 without a song.
Oh, I don't know. That's awfully close. I mean,
Hey,
when I'm 72, I don't know.
I would have swore that song
Did
goes
you see
higher than
that
64.
Paul Simon went back
72,
on
I
the
can
road
still-
at
never mind.
83 years old? Paul Simon went back on the road.
No, it's good for him.
He's probably broke.
To friggin'
No,
Engelbert
that he's
Humperdinck.
not. No, Lon, that he's
Tom
not.
Jones and Engelbert Humperdinck still go out and perform. And
Oh,
still
yeah.
sound pretty damn good. If you search
Yeah,
on the internet,
he does.
people record them at their
And
concerts.
it's more so because
still
they
good.
can, not that they have to.
Yeah, no, he did. Yeah,
They want to.
You know, it's like,
plenty.
well, it's true. When you retire, you make sure you have something to do. Don't just think you're going to sit and veg because
He didn't
man,
he didn't screw that. In that
That's what I do
particular
now.
case, that
time will
particular
pass you
performer,
quick.
Engelbert Humperdinck is one of my favorites. Believe it or not, sounds like a weird thing to say, but he is.
Eh.
And one of the things in his life,
Being 64, yeah, that is.
to live his long life and not to be broke by now, as somebody like him, is he's been married to the same woman since like high school or something, and they're still together. So no divorces and lawsuits. And I'll tell you what, 2 divorces. It takes a long time to recover from these things, especially when it started when you were young, and you weren't that far along to begin with. You know what I mean? And and then to dig yourself out of that, and then it hits you, then you get whacked again. So anyway, that's just a personal.
Bill, did you check the chat?
No, I've been talking like for 5 minutes
go
straight.
check
What do
the
you?
chat.
I'm
I
sorry.
like you something.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, I didn't. I told you the story was about a song that was good. That's been going through my head like for a week now, and I just
Yeah,
I couldn't help it. I had to
John.
talk about it. Maybe it'll stop. Okay. Thank you, Art.
You're welcome.
There you
The only
go.
one I can't think of anything over 64. There are ones that are lower than that. Younger.
69 might be a good one to write a song about.
Yeah.
69.
Yeah.
Gum
yeah.
you, baby, and I'll gum you too.
Hey, you get creative with
Mutual
what you got, brother.
satisfaction at its best.
Yeah.
When
The only time 69 is mentioned is the summer of 69 by Brian Adams.
Oh yeah, summer of '69.
Yeah. But it's not, it's the year.
Well, we could take
69,
summer
not-
of '69 and change it into it'd
The
be easy
age
to
of
work it in
69,
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd have to change it a little bit because, being the mega stars that we are, we would definitely be taken down a peg by
Oh, yeah.
what's his name? In the summer of '60.
Ryan Adams. Is he any relation to
Brian
Gomez?
It's actually a good song, huh?
Ryan Adams. Is he related to Gomez?
maybe.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
he could
Adams
be
family.
part of the Adams family.
He's a Canadian, right? Brian Adams.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I the other day on YouTube,
He didn't want
they
to.
have started. It
That's,
reminded me. They've
that's not
started
right. Here
a
we go.
Oh, shit.
Canada's Got Talent now, or
Oh,
It's
no,
been
nice.
around
The
for a
Voice
while.
Canada. The Voice. No, it's Canada's Got Talent because it has. What's that?
And Dale.
Do they?
Almost every
Howie
locale,
Mandel.
Lloyd, has a Got Talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
no,
got it,
Uzbekistan,
they've got it out here.
Uzbekistan Got Talent.
Australia's Got Talent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Canada really?
Australia.
I mean,
Oh,
Yeah,
Canada.
they,
yeah,
Right.
and he's on both the U.S. and the Canadian version.
yeah.
Hey, my first
what's
wife
the-
was Canadian, and she had a specific talent, which caused me
Why
to
you
marry
married
her.
her?
It caused me to marry her. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
She's what she said. Sorry, author.
Yeah, she was very talented. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that.
Uh-huh.
No, let's explain it
It's
in
not.
detail.
No, she's
I'm
still
young and
lives.
naive. Explain that to us, Bill.
No, because I've
Yeah.
said too
We're
much about her.
dense,
I've
Bill.
said too much about her in the past. Yeah, and everybody knows it's a two-way street. I was an asshole too, so whatever.
Giggity.
I was young. I mean, she met. What do you expect? She met. I was 19 when she met me. She was 25.
No,
So,
That's how experiences are made.
yeah.
The
She was a bartender.
Tonight.
Hey, bartender.
Hot bartender. I was 19. It's just seems like a winner. 19 years old. You know, like wow.
Nothing to see here, folks.
No.
Yeah.
Move along.
And your life was different back then. Back then, when I was 18, it was legal to drink in New Jersey, and it wasn't just beer. One of those licenses, like some states did for a while.
Right.
Like beer was 18 and liquor was 21 or some shit.
Yeah.
It was 18. Period. And I lived in Jersey right up until I was 18, so I just barely got it. And then I went to Pennsylvania. I was 21. And then Jersey a year after, not the next year, but the year after that, they went to 21. But I was grandfathered. I could still go over to Jersey, and
Okay.
yeah, I was still
My
allowed.
my oldest one got
Back when you're young enough to think it's a great idea to drive an hour or so to go get drinks.
Yeah.
Just not smart.
Priorities.
Well, the horse would bring you home if you got too drunk, right?
It did. That's the original GPS, baby.
Those were the days.
Yeah. Who needed GPS? You know,
Those were the
fall
days.
asleep back there.
No, officer, I wasn't driving. It was the horse.
It was
Yeah.
And you knew who you were then.
My oldest son was so damn mad because the year he turned 18 was the same year that they raised the drinking age to 21. And so it's like he had to wait. He looked forward to it, and he finally made it. And just before his birthday, they put it in force, and it's like, oh, he was pissed. So
we're drinking in bars in Brooklyn and Queens at the age of 16.
Yeah, me too.
So it was culture shock.
Well, I was going to bars when I was 6, but that was with my dad. So yeah, that was different.
Mm-hmm.
When I got transferred to the West Coast, I was like, oh, shit, 21. I was only 17 out of boot camp.
No, we're gonna do this one.
Just drink on post.
No, this one's better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
Well, that's only because of that. So if you do that, no, then it's even. I feel like this. I like the rounded corners, but boy, we get small, don't we?
Yeah.
All right. Well, this also helps with if your green screen is just in the position where, because I got a good. You got to keep it just right, or it just falls off. That's why I like that round.
Right.
That was kind of cool. But all right, we're big.
We're big. Oh, mm-hmm.
King of the big guys. That's me. Is Ray? What are you talking about? Is Jim Beauchard trying out for what?
Canadians Got Talent.
Oh,
he's a judge.
Oh my God, yeah.
He's a judge.
Yeah, Howie Mandel, he's a judge. Is that what you're talking about?
He's
Howie Mandel. That's what
he's a known
He's a
entity.
judge in both the U.S. and Canadian versions.
Yeah. He's a known, Jim
Mikey,
Beauchard is a known entity in Canada. You know,
Longest running judge on America's Got Talent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That
because it
makes
originally
sense.
started with Hasselhoff, didn't it?
Yeah, Hasselhoff and What's Her
And
Nuts and
who was the guy that was the host?
Pierce?
He had it wasn't Maury Povich. It was Jerry Springer.
host
yeah,
of what?
Jerry Springer.
He was the MC of the original America's Got Talent. Jerry Springer
Yeah.
was,
He was.
Yeah.
I
and
don't
David
remember- I don't remember
Hasselhoff
that.
was one of the
I
judges.
didn't watch too much of that though. But
Sharon Osbourne, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't-
Yeah.
Aaron Osborne was on with Howard Stern.
I didn't watch it too much. If my
Oh,
wife
I
had
didn't-
if my wife happened to have it on and I caught it because these people are pretty fucking talented. Even like almost all of them. I mean, were they it was like they intentionally put bad ones in there just to make the good ones sound that much better.
Right.
Yeah,
The
spice
ones
it
that
up.
were bad
Yeah.
were so bad. It's like what is that? But there's some incredible talent. Yeah. Yeah.
I
but
just
every
realized
country's
something,
got it.
Bill.
Every country's got it, and because you've seen it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I have. It stretched
have.
from one country, another country, and you know what I do? I think I'm trying to figure out what country it is. It's killing me. You know, I don't recognize the words or the language. And,
Right.
you know, And so that's like a little game for me. But and some of that, man, just as good as anybody
Some
else's.
of those
And
people
some of it,
really.
some
Have
of it
you
wasn't
watched
that
some of the
great.
ones from the
Yeah,
Philippines?
some of the countries, some of it wasn't that. Oh, the Philippines ones are awesome.
Yeah.
Like fifth was it Fifth Element they were called? That was on.
I saw the one from Vietnam. It was awesome.
Oh,
Had some unbelievable musicians.
oh. Called
Yeah,
Charlie
well, a lot of the
Got
groups go through them all. Sorry about that, Art. Go ahead.
Well,
Some
you
of these
said,
groups go through them all.
oh, there you go.
Well, I'm trying, dude. I waited a solid
I
minute.
and then just as like I would say something, then you mentioned that Vietnamese got talent, and I said, oh, well, Charlie's got talent.
Charlie's got
Never
talent.
mind. You just
Yeah,
Lord
yeah.
got
You
That's
know,
what.
people haven't
Lon, are
called
you
them
old
that
enough? You
in a
know who Charlie is,
fairly long
right? Yeah.
time.
That's the
Yeah.
backstage name for it. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Charlie's got talent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
people in conversational English don't tend, I've of course I know exactly what you're talking about, but I had to think about it for a second because I don't walk around thinking about he's Vietnamese, he's a Charlie. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a Charlie. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
just it's been a minute since all that shit happened.
Since that, yeah.
Just a bit.
When my
Yeah.
brother was over there, he wrote a letter back and he talked about the first jump they did. He was in the 173rd Airborne, and first jump they did, they landed in a rice paddy and they got pinned down by Charlie. So I wrote him back and said, "Who the hell's Charlie and why was he shooting at you?" You know, and he writes back and explains who Victor Charlie was. You know, and
50 years today. Not today, but 50 years ago. This year
Yeah.
was when we pulled the last helicopters off the embassy.
Fall of Saigon. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I was 11 years old.
I was already.
I was
enlisted
in the
then.
service.
I was
I was
7.
too. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I was in.
Oh
Yeah,
wait,
I
what
was,
year? What year was it?
75.
75.
Oh, 75. No, I wasn't. I was
Yeah. May,
I was
you were
14.
15, 14. right.
I was 14 in
Yeah. I
75.
was 7.
May of 70. Was it May of 75
I was born in
Yep.
61.
Mhm.
when Saigon fell?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was May of 75. I'd been in since November 74 is when I enlisted. So
I was 14. I was 14. How old were you?
how old was I?
Yeah, 18.
Oh, I was older, a little older than that.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you? How old were you when you enlisted?
I was 19.
Oh, 19. Yeah,
I was getting ready to be
That
drafted.
is a little
I
older.
enlisted.
You got that gap year.
Well, yeah, 19. I had to
You
stop
took the
thinking whether
gap
19 or
year.
20.
You're very truthful. That is a little older. 1
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
Well, I had to stop and think 'cause I couldn't remember whether 19 or 20. But yeah, I enlisted in 74, and because I was about to be drafted, I got my draft notice in the last friggin' lottery, and I get a notice from them.
Mm.
And and I'd already been looking into the Air Force, and I sure as hell didn't want to go to the Army. So, no offense, Lon. I liked.
You just shook him to the core.
Yeah, I know. I just broke his heart, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't going into the Navy because I didn't want to get seasick. I could fly, but I didn't want to be out on no ships. So, and I just wasn't tough enough to be a Marine. So screw that,
Oh.
So Air Force was my only option. That or getting drafted and them sending me wherever the hell they wanted. So, I joined the Air Force. And
You're afraid of boats, but you go on planes, so that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not afraid of boats. I get seasick.
No, it sounds like
I
you're
get
afraid of getting seasick.
I got seasick on the friggin' Branson Bell up there in Branson, Missouri. At damn rear wheeler.
I would think more exposure to it. Eventually, you might. I don't know.
It's easy to overcome after your vertigo. It's a vertigo situation. So
Yeah.
Once you start to experience that a few times over, you start to build that tolerance.
I can go
just
out
like flying FPV. Some people
right.
have to sit that first time. It's very unsettling for people. But
I
once
can
they
go
do
out
it
on a
several
fishing
times,
boat and do that stuff, no problem. But like that Branson Bell, it was a dinner theater, and that thing was moving, and you could see the shoreline just slowly going by, and it was just like something about that motion. And Judy and I both ended up on the top deck, hurling. Yeah. So
I joined the Navy, and I wound up in an air crew. So,
You know what? An air
in an
crew?
air
and I
crew.
wound up in an air crew.
Yeah,
What'd
sure,
you
of
do?
course.
Yeah,
Navy's
so-
big, man. It does a lot of different things. It does them well.
I tell you,
Does
though,
them well too.
food's good. My grandson's on a destroyer in the Red Sea right now. Got a combat action ribbon. Him and his shipmates about 3 weeks ago.
I got a lot of respect for our Navy. My
USS Stout, EDG.
dad here is a Marine, but my father, my biological father, he was in the Navy. I got a picture of the destroyer he served on. Yeah. So got a lot of respect, but not just because of that. Always had a lot of respect for our Navy. Is the most powerful of any of the armed services in the
My
world.
son was on a destroyer, and he was on the visiting board search and seizure team. So, Gulf.
11 nuclear aircraft.
From there, he became a cop.
It's insane.
Yeah, we've had somebody in our family. We've had somebody in every war since the Revolution.
Cool.
So you people are the ones who've been stirring this shit up.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah,
from the
that's it.
get-go. Right from
the get-go. Yeah. I've got the Sons of the American Revolution number that I can sign up for. So it's like,
Wow.
yeah.
Do it.
Oh,
Yeah, but Lloyd, you were one of the original signers on the Declaration.
Yeah.
no. I didn't sign it. They wouldn't let me. All I was able to do was fill the ink bottle for them. Every time it ran out, I'd have to run across the
stuck in the
street
back
to the
of the
printer's
room.
office, get some more ink. Yeah, they. I mean, they wrote a bunch of crap on there. I didn't get to see any of it, but
Yeah.
no, I'm not quite.
Our
that old,
family was in every war.
You would think there'd be some benefits to being a
give
part
up.
of that club, like a special auto license plate you never have to pay for or something. I don't know.
Right.
Well,
Wouldn't
in a
that be
way,
nice?
my license plate cost me $5 a year.
Well, you see, that's $5 you could be spending on toothpaste or something.
My driver's license is free. I don't pay for excise tax on cars. I don't pay sales tax or property tax.
Cool.
Like,
Wow.
get it.
But I'm just
No property tax.
No property tax. No.
All I do is write Uncle Sam checks.
How old
every
do you have to
month.
be to get no property tax?
Oh, you have to be. Well, in my case, you have to be a 100% service-connected disabled veteran. So that's what I am.
Got it.
Veteran, yeah.
So it's got nothing to do with
No.
10-4.
No. But after 65, here you get a free driver's license. So
Just when they should be taking them off of you.
yeah,
That would make it easier to take it away from you.
yeah. It's like
They
really.
didn't pay for it,
Okay.
goddammit.
Yeah.
Yeah, our family was in every war up till the Civil War, and then we're part of the reason for the Civil War, I guess. So,
Sometimes
had
happens
family
that
of
way.
Whatever do you mean?
I had family on both sides of that war. Had some were Union, some were from the Confederacy. Yeah.
Cool. I was a Tomahawk cruise missile pilot during Desert Storm.
You were what?
Tomahawk cruise missile pilot during.
I was an
Desert
in-flight mechanic. I thought you were an in-flight mechanic on a Tomahawk cruise.
It was a light pit, was it? Yeah.
Close that hatch. Why is that hatch left open? Close that hatch.
Oh, I don't know. That joke makes me uncomfortable for
I
some
was in
reason.
Iraq.
Yeah. He was a gremlin on that one movie. What was
Numerous airlifts. He was a gremlin.
a gremlin.
America's first true
Twilight
superhero,
Zone.
the Gremlin.
All I can
Gremlin.
think of when he said that was who was it? Slim Pickens.
Whitman?
Oh, yeah.
Slim Pickens.
Slim Pickens riding that nuclear bomb.
Yeah, Dr. Strangelove. Yeah.
Dr. Strangelove.
Hold it down.
And see, he went on there. They didn't tell him that it was a comedic part. He went on there and he
It's just
really
his
put
whole. He does.
He
You know who,
dropped it.
you know who
Yeah.
he
he was
does
just
when
being
he's in
himself.
movies. You know who he
Yeah,
does when he's in
probably.
movies? He does him. That's him.
Yeah.
That
him.
same personality.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
in every role he's
Well,
ever done.
it's like a John Wayne movie. They're John Wayne, no matter what.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an iconic image. I think.
Right.
Of him doing it.
I'll give
And think
John
about
Wayne
it. You know
some
what? You know
credit.
you're going to die anyway. You may as well, whoop it up
Yeah.
on the ride
May
on
as
the
well
way
have fun
down.
doing it. Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
not? You're done.
No, let's give John Wayne some credit. I think he had some range anyway.
He
You know,
did.
like
Some of
in
his
Rooster
stuff was-
Cogburn, I think he played a
Yeah.
different character than
As you got
most
older,
times.
yeah.
And
No, you're
McClintock
right.
is definitely different.
You're right.
His
was
World War
definitely-
II movies. World War
First
II
two-
movies are way different than his westerns.
Mm-hmm.
in his shootist. That was
his character is pretty close to the same person though. In those, even when he's in war, as he got older, no, you're absolutely right. He became a much better actor. As he got
yeah.
older. Like the first half of his career was the same guy. No
What
matter
about
what.
McKinnon? Or what was that movie where he's a detective in San Francisco or somewhere? McHugh. Yeah.
McHugh,
I
yeah.
thought he was pretty good in that.
Yeah, and then he goes and does a one
Nobody said he
over
was a
in
bad
England.
actor. We're not saying these people are bad actors. I'm just saying
No, I didn't
that
say
their
you did. I thought you-
personality, like there's guys with total Irish brogues. What the hell's that actor? He's a youngish guy, dark hair. They all have dark hair. He's a pretty famous actor, but his range is incredible. He can sound like American. He can sound like any. Like I didn't even know.
Adrian Brody.
Oh yeah, he's another one. But no, not that one. No,
The guy
he's
that
a real
did
good
Batman?
looking guy, and not to sound weird.
Oh, okay.
But
The guy that did the
Christian
Batman
Bale?
trilogy, Christian Bale.
no, but he's a good example too.
You're
I mean,
talking
he's
about
kind of a
Colin
stone-
Farrell.
He's kind of a stone face, but he's got a.
Yeah, Colin
great-
Farrell was the next
You're
one.
talking about Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
Colin
I've seen him have
Yeah.
so many different personalities in
Right,
his
He
career.
was the Penguin.
And he was as a kind of a scaredy cat in Seven Maniacs, Seven Lunatics, Seven Maniacs. You know this movie? Nobody's responding. Oh my god.
No.
God knows it. I promise you.
Oh no. Maybe. Well, that's probably not the title, but it's close though. It's like Seven.
Is it?
And he's not one of them. A lot of big stars in it, and I can't name a single one. Christopher Walken's in it.
Oh, I know what
Dear
movie you're talking about. He has a little dog that he
The
pets.
dog,
during
yeah.
the whole
yeah,
movie.
yeah. Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Right? Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, Seven. It's something.
Seven lunatics or maniacs.
Yeah, something like that. You're right.
Colin Farrell, but in that one, he's no tough guy. You know what I mean? He's like just the total opposite. He's total. In fact, I didn't like his personality in that one. But he's all over the place. So, but I'm saying he's just an example of a very talented guy.
Yeah, he played in. Was it Deadshot or one of the characters in? Was it a Spider-Man movie?
Punisher, the Punisher, or Daredevil, one of the two.
Daredevil. It was Daredevil. The Daredevil with Ben Affleck, and you wouldn't even know it's him because he's got this tattooed thing on his forehead. It's Target, and I had to stop. And then he goes on like Artemis Fowl, which is another decent character that he plays. If you like those kind of movies, it was.
But like I said, that's not saying guys whose personality is part of the roles that they take is a bad actor. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you can see it in their roles, like versus really good actors who you're not really quite sure what their personality. Hugh Laurie, look at freaking Hugh Laurie. Never knew he was British. The Dr. House. It was a perfect American accent and a great actor, man. I've seen him in a lot of different stuff. He's a good comedic actor.
Yeah. To be fair, though, his first few roles though were very similar. Like when he was in Blackadder, he was in the show Blackadder, and he was in. He's been around forever.
Well,
it's not around here.
But comedy show with Stephen Fry.
I agree.
Stephen Fry, Brian Laurie.
Stephen Fry,
Brian Laurie.
But here's the thing though: when you're just starting out and starting to break through, what you do in the first part of your career is going to be tied into what you got famous for in the first place, or at least recognition for in the first place.
Right.
And that's why that's like that. In the beginning, you're going to get roles that are similar to the ones you've already succeeded in. But the really good actors, they branch out from there, and they can do other things,
That's true.
I love Clint Eastwood, but his personality is there for every role he'll ever has played, ever will play. And I like every one of them because I like him,
Right.
Play Misty for me.
Huh?
Play Misty
That was a
for me.
weird one. Yeah. That was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how
That was a
about
different- most of those.
Paint Your Wagon?
What about it?
He was a way different personality in that.
It's still him.
He
Well,
was
it's
Clint Eastwood.
obviously it's him, but it's not Dirty Harry. He's not the
No.
High Plains Drifter.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I don't think it's just Dirty
Sure.
Harry. He had much lighter hearted. He had much lighter hearted
Magnum
roles than that. He
Force.
was. Come on. He did
Look at,
movies with an orangutan driving
Every
a
Which
truck.
Way You
I was
Can.
thinking of
Right.
those, but he played kind of a tough guy in that, though.
Right,
Right, but he wasn't like putting
comedy
a
one.
gun to your face and saying, "You really lucky punk." I mean, he
Buffalo
did
Bill was another
it
one.
was a far cry from that guy.
What was it, John?
Buffalo Bill was another one he did, which was more comedic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot
he
about
did.
that one, actually.
$1 Million Baby.
Yeah.
$1 Million Baby was a good movie.
That was a good
But
movie.
he was a little bit gruff and tough in that one, I would say.
But that's
A
just
little
it.
bit.
I'm not
That's
saying
him.
that the tough guy is his personality. That's not his
Space
personality. Clint Eastwood plays those roles, but like even when he's playing the tough guys in 90% of the movie, he's not being a tough guy. He's just interacting with the other characters and occasionally acting like an ass or whatever he has to scare them. But like he's likable and it's his personality. That's all I'm saying. It's still Clint Eastwood. I'm not saying you have to think of the crazed cop that's ready to blow guys' heads off every five.
No,
Callahan.
well, look at
you know what I mean?
Cry Macho.
Right, he did a lot of movies where he was. What was that one where he was? It's pretty recent. He was. This
Was
video
the old
clip is-
man?
Yeah, the old man making
The old
Torino.
man with the Korean kids?
Gran Torino.
Gran Torino.
Torino.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Torino,
Gran
yeah.
Torino's a great movie. No, I thought it, but he was a tough guy in that. This other one he's no tough guy. He's just a guy picking up drugs and delivering them for the mob. But he's like,
Yeah.
But he's
That's
so friendly and lighthearted about everything. He runs into the dykes on bikes, and it's such a funny scene. That clip comes up on my YouTube every so often. It still does, and I've seen the movie. But he's totally different in that, But it's still him. It's like him with the edge
he's
taken
a
off.
great actor.
Yeah.
Great actor.
Look at like John Wayne playing Genghis Khan.
They really didn't care what it looked because they didn't even make him up well. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
they just raised which is
You can't find that movie.
That's
you cannot,
actually right. They made their eyebrows go up.
yeah,
No,
you can't
because
find that movie anywhere because he
It's
bought
yellow
every,
face.
Yeah, he bought every copy that was ever, and he made it his. That was one of his things was to make sure nobody ever saw that after it first came out. And that's why you can't find it anywhere. Because
Who was the actor in the 40s played the spy that got the surgery to make him look Japanese, and then he went to Japan and was that Rock Hudson or Cary Grant? It was somebody like that. I bet you can't find that movie
It's
either.
not the Adventures of Fu Manchu, is it?
No. It's a very serious movie. He plays a spy, American spy that gets surgery to make him look Japanese, and then they sneak him into Japan, and he does
trying to think what
shit
movie
to the
that is.
Japanese people. It's Cary Grant or Rock Hudson or somebody like that. I bet that you can't find that movie anyway. Is what I'm
Josh.
saying.
oh,
Hey,
hey Josh,
Mm-hmm.
that was another guy I was glad I got.
No,
to
it
meet.
wasn't James Bond. Crazy. No, it's an American movie. It's an American character. They-
Yeah. Go ahead and Google that, Bill.
I can't because I have no fucking idea what you guys are talking about. I've never seen that
Okay.
movie.
Don't know where to start on that
I
one.
have zero recollection of what you're talking about.
Yeah, Lon, take care of that. Why don't you?
I'm working on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lon would actually
Round it
be
up.
the most likely person to find.
First Yank in Tokyo.
First Yank in Tokyo. That sounds
Okay.
like a massage parlor.
Oh yeah, I loved you a long time.
First
Sean
Yank.
Connery? Was it a Sean Connery film?
My first Yank in Tokyo.
No, that was one of the Spy That Loves Me. Well, first Yank in Tokyo.
My first Yank in Tokyo.
Yeah, wouldn't we all?
Sounds like the header on a letter.
Oh,
like
that might be it. That might be it.
That's what you
First
said.
Yank in Tokyo. Yeah.
Well,
I'm
he
gonna
said
go
it
with
like
that.
Who was the
3
actor?
minutes. He said it like 3 minutes ago. First Yank in
I
Tokyo.
know. I had to look at it again because
Oh, okay.
So who was the actor?
Neil.
I'm stuck because I've never even heard of it. I mean, it's all right. Let's see. Not like I know everything, but you at least hear of things, you know.
I've never heard of it.
I had to go to the dentist last week, and the dental
Yank.
assistant, she escorted me back there, and she didn't pay attention until she got ready to tell me where to sit down and everything. And she looks at me, she says, "You know that the Sword and the Stone, that really old movie, the original?" I said, "You mean the cartoon?" She goes,
I
"Yeah."
wanna watch this.
And she goes, "You look just like Merlin did when he pops back in from the future."
yeah, with the outfit and everything.
Yeah, because I had on one of my bright Hawaiian flowery shirts that day, and she said, "Yeah, you look like." And so I had to look it up, and sure as shit, I do. Except his beard was a lot longer. I wish mine was that long, but
I was wrong about the star though.
This
Yeah.
I thought it was somebody super famous, but it's not.
this is
Well,
this
Barbara
movie.
Hale was in that movie.
This movie's
Yeah.
from 1945.
Yeah.
It's a war document. It's a war movie. You know,
Yep.
while we were still fighting these guys. So you know why it's. I mean, it's only getting a 5.4, and yet you still have to pay for it for $3.99.
Bill.
How old is this
Bill,
movie?
put up the screen I'm sharing.
Okay,
You can find it somewhere, I bet you, for
I was
free.
looking at my screen. Okay, let me see. Where do I do that? 7. There it is. Week.
This was the
James
cosmetic
Bond did that
genius
too.
that made him look Japanese.
yeah, Josh, I'll get
I'm not sure what he looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's back in the day, you know.
Oh, and that was
No
Barbara
special
Hale.
effects.
Yeah,
Well-
Della Street next to him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he had a.
Oh,
You
really?
know what they couldn't have done? Have a Japanese actor play the part because they were all in internment camps.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. Oh, weren't they out by 45?
No, well,
I
don't think
no,
so.
not by when this movie came out.
well, I mean, the war ended in, but what? It was.
December,
August
right?
of 45.
Or November.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's that. No, I don't think it's that late.
Well, I know some of them were out
August.
because they were serving overseas. They were already serving in
August of
the
1945.
Yeah,
US
they were
Army.
serving in Italy and yeah.
And I think
It's
they
in
signed the
VJ Day.
September 2nd, 1945.
No, I mean the end of the war period. Did they let the Japanese out of the internment camps before the war was completely over? I doubt it.
Some of them got out. but
August 15th. August 15th.
August 15th.
September 4th, 1945, all restrictions were revoked by the
Okay.
Western Defense Command.
The,
All right.
Full process.
I think it was VJ Day and then VE Day. I think VJ Day. was-
Victory over Japan Day, also known as VJ Day, Victory Pacific Day or VP Day, is the day on which Imperial Japan surrendered in World War II,
Yeah.
in effect bringing the war to an end. And that
And
was
it
August,
took- it-
August
and it
15th.
took
Yeah, that's August
1945.
15th.
It took
And
until
then-
June 29th of 1946 before all
Yeah.
Japanese were relocated.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All
I
right,
couldn't
so,
remember.
okay, there you go. That answers that question.
I knew several that had.
Now
First
you
one
know.
I
And
knew
knowing's
several
half the
that were in
battle.
there. Do what?
Do
Is
what?
that now you know.
I love
And
that.
knowing's half the battle.
It's so folksy that do what. My brother's first wife used to do what, and she was from
Do
Oklahoma,
what?
by the way.
Really?
Cute as-
Okay.
cute,
Yeah.
blondie, cute as a button. Yeah, do what?
Yeah.
Slut. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, and he's right about Sean Connery, James Bond. You Only Live Twice was the movie where James Bond gets done up like a Japanese, so he can play,
Oh,
so he can fight
yeah.
against Dr. No, right? Was it Dr. No?
No.
I don't know.
No, because Dr. No was the movie Dr. No, duh.
Yeah. Dr. No was the. Wasn't that like the second?
Doctor No.
But there was
no,
a Japanese
Are you
villain,
doing
though.
that on
If
purpose?
I'm not mistaken, there was a Japanese villain. I don't think Dr. No was Japanese. I think Dr. No was Chinese or whatever he was. He was Asian of some kind.
Well, look at the
Japanese villain.
Look at the guy that played Charlie Chan. That guy was about as Chinese as I was.
Well, they can't be letting Chinese people fucking star in movies. Are you kidding me? Back in the 40s or whatever.
They get a guy named Tolberg that is from Switzerland, you know? I mean, that's really reaching to make that a, it's like, Blofeld was the villain. Thank you, Josh.
Blofeld.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blofeld. Good. Thank you. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, Tom, are you excited about the Mavic 4? You're actually the only person here that would even possibly buy it.
Nah.
Okay.
I'm always interested. I'm always interested in the innovation, but right now, I would have a hard time justifying the price.
Tom, I'm sorry. I found that funny. You excited?
Nah.
Nah. I mean, real thoughtful about them. Yeah.
It kind of summed it all up. You know, it really did.
I was done with my questions. He said, nah. I said, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it just because I don't have a drone right now. I got suckered into selling mine to Bill, so.
You know, the funny, this is what's messed up.
I took a second.
As those words were coming out of your mouth, I mean, literally moments before, I was thinking, oh, I meant to tell Lon one more time, thanks for the deal on the drone and this and that. And I was thinking it just now, and you said that. I swear to God, your thought, I don't know how those things. What are the odds of that shit? We're on the air for like
the destroyer of goodwill. That's my nickname.
Well, that's what you do. I'm very happy with the drone. It's rock solid.
Well, I'm happy you're happy.
You know, it was a
and
good,
I am very happy with mine.
Great deal. Appreciate
good.
it.
And I'm happy with what I have left over. Just my leftovers.
Oh,
I got this high dollar item right here.
There you go.
Billy offered to send me a drone to borrow, and I was like what? He goes, well, I can send you a Mavic 3 thermal, and I'm like, no.
I don't know. That sounds pretty cool to me. You know.
No, I fly it less than I was flying the Air 3S.
Well, I mean, besides the thermal, what kind of cameras it got on it? Does it have lots of good cameras to carry that thermal? Yeah,
the main sensor is not the 4/3. So
right.
Now, if he would have said the Mavic 3 Enterprise, I might have went with it because that's a 4/3 with a mechanical shutter. That might be interesting.
Mechanical shutter
to play with. Yeah.
Geometry.
I'm not doing any mapping anyway. I said, well, if you want me to do any more stuff, I was gonna post up a video that I took for House Hunters, and then I thought, nah, I better not.
You know, here's the thing with that thermal drone. I think you know what I would do. I mean, what would end up happening is if I had that drone, I would fly it, at night and different areas and like that. And think, isn't this cool? And then after a little while, I'd probably never do it again. You know what I mean?
I get over it.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Well, there's plenty I could use it for out
here. Well, yeah, I guess.
Roof inspections to finding neighbors' lost dogs that run off into the wilderness.
And by that you mean like husbands? I mean because
no, that's usually Tilly and Magnuson. She wanders off on a regular basis. Everybody.
Spy drones.
Just spin her back around and turn her back in the direction. Living in an active adult community.
I'm not kidding about that. I could see a thermal drone being used in an active with a detective when he's trying to. I mean, if he identified somebody entering a building and with the drone, you could tell there was only one person in it to begin with, and now there's only two, and you can see there's only one out. While they're still both there. I mean, you could easily,
not in a building. They're not that good. It's not freaking Spy Kids up in this piece, yo.
I don't know.
It's not X-ray.
Maybe it's cold out.
There would have to be a real significant difference between the temperatures.
Hey, we
You
got
weren't gonna see
Alright,
through walls
show
no
up.
matter
That's
what.
fine.
Oh,
Maybe,
there,
maybe,
nephew.
maybe,
show
maybe
up.
through
Hey,
the
Chrissy Cakes.
maybe through the curtains. Okay, how about that?
It's an R value
Okay.
we're talking about there. Honestly.
Maybe through the
Yeah.
curtains.
Thermal image.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll give it to you.
Hey, I still have single pane glass from the original construction of this building in Florida.
Uh,
Glass was thicker then, but that's never.
Yeah.
This house's original window.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, the
great. Cool.
hurricanes. Never had a problem.
Nah, it's just thermal drones are all right, man. And I could.
They
We
serve,
got a.
they serve a purpose, right? They have a niche. It's a niche.
Yeah.
We have a
What,
roofing company
drones?
across the
I
street.
mean, they'd be big in finding lost people in the woods and shit. That
Yeah,
there's a
absolutely.
definite good purpose for them.
That's people.
Oh yeah.
Thermal loss in buildings.
Yeah, that's what I would use it for.
Structure.
Right.
Yeah, roof inspections.
Crane inspections,
Yep.
Windmill
chicken
inspections.
failure,
Chicken inspector.
bridge
Windmill
inspections,
inspection.
if you have any bridges.
Windmill. It's big in windmill because you can get up to where the motor is and you can get a temperature reading. You can tell when the bearings are going bad or when if the lube has failed or whatever, lubrication's failed. You can tell. It's starting to get hot.
Hey, Chris.
Very hot. Hot. Hot
Hello,
pants.
hello,
Hot
nephew.
pants. Na, 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 na.
Chris
Back
Hope.
kiss myself.
What the hell is going on?
We're having a
Oh.
little dance party over here. Na, 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 na. The Chrissy Cakes is here.
Hey, Chris. Welcome.
Now, what I was going to say, Bill, is I've realized something that maybe I should stop doing. I should stop throwing away footage. I'm missing a whole year of footage. I was looking for something because I was saying that me and Billy, we had a bunch of footage of dolphins, for example.
Right.
We sat out on a boat for like 5 hours, for God's sakes, filming dolphins. And I had this, I bet I had 2 terabytes of dolphin footage. And I'm
Wow.
not exaggerating. And I can't find it to save my life. Well, they were breaching and all kinds of bullshit. They were just, there's a pod of them, and I don't know what the deal was with them. I don't know if it was mating season or what, but they were like super duper active. We sat there for hours filming them. I bet, no, dude, easily 3 batteries. Billy had 2 drones up at one time. We were filming these dolphins. But
I
With
have-
another operator helping them.
I didn't lose that much, but I
Yes.
did something like that. Did you ever do something that's so stupid? But I actually formatted the wrong drive. And,
Oh shit.
Yeah, that sucks.
and it was it's just a terabyte old school drive.
Right.
They still work, so I keep them. They were pretty late in the model
Yeah,
when I got them.
yeah.
But for backup and shit, I got a couple of those, and I got a 5 terabyte over here. But anyway, I picked the wrong one because one had a bunch of it wasn't for videos. You know what I mean? So of course, but it was hundreds of gigs. It wasn't so it was a lot. It was a year. It was
Oh, no.
it was one of the meetups. Gone.
Yeah, we've all done it because I got mad at my
yeah.
computer and I just went ahead and when it asked you, do you want to format everything? And I was like, yes, or you want to delete everything or whatever the question is. I was doing a hard reset and they asked you doing, yeah. And I forgot to unhook my hard drives, right? I got external hard drives. I got like 4 of them hooked to this
Oh my
computer.
god.
And I forgot and I deleted all of them. So I have,
Oh my
I have
god.
no footage. I used to have drone footage from the late 90s, mid 2000s. Well, not drone footage, but RC footage, helicopter footage, and then early drone footage when we were buying the kits and building them with sticks. Literally going to Home Depot or Menards and buying, wood rods and shit and putting the kits together that Frank Wang was sending out back in the day. We built like 3 drones like that. So yeah.
OG droner, man.
Yeah. Well, and then AR drone footage, which is garbage. The footage from the AR drone is garbage. But I had a shit ton of that. 3DR solo footage, I had a shit ton of that. Which is basically GoPro from the air guard footage, actually. But yeah, Bebop footage. Yeah, I had a ton of footage. Yeah. Stupid Parrot Bebop. I was a big Parrot fan initially.
I came close to buying one of those, and I ended up, you know, I had like I started out with the SEMA 5, and then I got the 8H before it actually come out, and they sent it to me, and it wasn't up for sale yet, and I got it sent to me, and that was the one that had the first of the SEMAs that had, you know, because they were knockoffs of the Phantom, you know, really bad knockoffs, and that was the first one that had the ground sensing on it, so it would kind of sort of hover in place, and
It wouldn't hit the ground when you're flying.
yeah, it wouldn't hit the ground, it wouldn't fly with the shit. Yeah, it wouldn't, you know, it'd fly off. I lost a couple of them that way, but get them hung up in a tree or something. Yeah,
the ground sensor stuff was an innovation and a half. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah,
because I've lost a few drones trying to fly too close to the ground, and when you're going forwards, the drone tends to go down.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
You got to keep correcting, and if you don't correct, you know, eventually the leg hits the ground and.
That's exactly what it sounded like. It was spot on, just like that.
Yeah.
It was a huge innovation. Anyway, GPS was the next one I remember of being just getting it to hover at all was an innovation. Parrot started that, and it was like a big deal. You know, when they would just sit there, kind of. I mean, it would sit there. This is what hovering was like when I first started flying drones. It would do this stuff.
Right.
Do this stuff. You know, but we thought it was the shit.
Who can forget Jello? You know, all the videos, everything. Oh, I've got too much Jello in it. Like, okay,
props in the shot.
I mean, you know, it's not that much different than I had toy helicopters that I used to have to do the same thing.
Yeah,
you know, and to keep it flying and not take off and leave my yard. You know what I mean? It was kind of the same thing. Yeah, you know.
It was, same innovation.
So I guess I've been doing it a while. I didn't even think of it like that because I had a bunch of those, a couple of those anyway. I buy them for my son that I play with me. That was how it went.
That SEMA 8 that I got, it was actually gold. It was the only one they put out like that in that color, and I don't even know how I got it sent to me. They just my early days in YouTube, and but they were fun to fly. Well, they were fun to. Actually, I cussed at them more than I did anything. Like, God damn it,
dude! Oh God, those SEMAs were.
Oh, they were a pain in the ass to fly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And the problem with the early drones for me was, and what DJI finally, when I broke down and bought a DJI, because I hated them back in the day, was the ease of getting it up in the air. You know, I waited. People complained about the Mavic 3 waiting 3 minutes to get GPS or whatever. Son, I've waited 15 minutes to get GPS lock on a drone. You know, easy 10, 15 minutes. You know, to get GPS. Like, well, I'm worried about the battery life because the early drones only flew like 10, 11 minutes, 15 minutes. So you sit idle and it would overheat and all kinds of goofy shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
like Josh says, it's more an act of you weren't flying. You were just trying not to crash. You weren't actually flying. That was the whole thing right there. You try not to crash. I sent one on. I was in my backyard and sent one off. It went. I thought, man, this is a good shot. I got a real high shot up there. Then all of a sudden it disappears. It flew, and it landed in my son's backyard. And I got a picture of his dog chasing it. So yeah. I'm trying to get over there before his damn German Shepherd ate it. You know, I was like,
it's amazing how fast that developed. I mean, even the fucking chintzy little. I had that Tello, and that thing, same thing. You take it off, it would sit there and hover. You know, it's with satellite. You know,
yeah.
In $100 drone. You know, that was
right.
I think I paid for the Flymore kit. I think I paid $129. You know?
That was one of the first things I gave away on my channel. Rick Halber sent it to me, and I had a drawing.
I spent like $40 for a game controller. They had a Bluetooth game controller that worked with it.
He sent it with game controller and everything. He bought the whole package and sent it to me. He says, "Give this away." But that was the way Rick was too.
I did that and bought a case to put it in. Dusty ended up winning that at one of the meetups, actually.
By the way, Rick's
cool
birthday is coming up.
Worked okay.
Oh, is it really?
For what it was. What happened?
Rick's
Rick's
birthday.
birthday's
Rick
coming
Halber.
up.
Rick's birthday is coming up.
Whose?
Rick
Rick
Halber.
Halber.
Oh,
But
Not really having a
he said-
birthday now because, you know,
Yeah, I was going to say.
obviously.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
don't
say
have birthdays anymore.
Of course, you did.
But-
Lloyd.
Yeah. No, Parrot had to beat the Tello came out with Parrot first, but the Parrot didn't have a camera on it. The Rolling Spider and the
Right.
Sumo, all those drones would hover. I got one. If I had a battery, I'd fly it right now.
Yeah, I
The damn
got
thing
the
will sit
Mambo.
here. It'll sit right here and just sit there.
I still have
Yeah.
the Mambo. Yep.
That came
fun.
out 2013 or so.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
you could buy them at Sprint. In fact, that's where I bought mine. I walked in to pay my bill or some shit. I go,
And they had
what
them-
the
yeah.
hell? Yeah, they had them sitting there on display. You had to order them normally, but they were sitting at Sprint,
Yeah.
the Sprint store. And I go, take my money.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the stupid Parrot app. You
I
had to fly them with
still
your
have
phone.
the Parrot swing. Yeah.
I still have one. I got a Parrot swing as well.
You know,
Yeah,
I'll
as
tell
I'm
you what,
looking
it
at it.
tells you a lot about the amount of radiation we're exposed to in the world that we live today. Think about it, because any one of my DJI drones, I've been able to turn on in my living room, inside, heavy drapes. You know, I know there's a big window there, but and it's like an 8-foot by 5-foot window, but still heavy drapes, and we're inside under roof, and the fucker would get 14 more satellites and and hover in my living room under
when
roof
you
like
was
that.
resetting
So
this,
that just tells you how much that's just getting in and penetrating. If the drone can pick it up,
yeah.
you know.
Well, you got like 14 or 15 satellites when you was deregistering this Air 2S that day,
Right there in the living room.
and I was surprised how many.
Yeah, no, you could have flown it right then and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the least of your worries. You got Wi-Fi all over your house, your phone,
Oh, yeah, I
your
got-
tablets, your computer, your everything you own is pumping out some kind of frequency.
Yeah, but
pretty much.
Small house. It's not gonna. It's small house. It's not gonna get that far. Where's he gonna go? to the bedroom down the end of the hall. You know, it's gonna be like 30 feet away, or 40 feet away, whatever. At,
Now,
at most 40 feet away. Huh?
You know that video that I just showed and you guys just watched? There, I got 30 satellites there.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, look at that. I got 30
Where'd you get that? I've never seen 30.
Oh, this was in the Philippines.
Wow,
At
that's pretty
Tulinga.
amazing. Man.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're getting spied on a lot there.
Yeah, my
Ugh.
Chinese satellites.
I broke down and bought me something when I got home.
Oh,
Got
you
the-
got
The Mike
microphone.
Minis. Yeah.
Mike Mini.
Yep.
Yeah. I
Nice.
like it.
I'm
And,
too
'cause I-
cheap to buy it. How much was that?
Oh, it's 160, something like that, or
Yeah,
less.
well, a bag of shells.
Yeah.
Diamond Lloyd.
Oh, there you go.
That's old as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, I
don't
got
think
one.
this thing
I
flies.
think I have one of those in there. Yeah.
Oh,
that's old, Doc.
There you go.
I had a helicopter.
Small toothpick.
On the top.
Here's the original obstacle avoidance.
Right? Yep.
The rolling spider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Because
yeah.
then when you hit, you can't crash it.
Yep.
Right.
You know. The
I
original
bought
obstacle
another mic
avoidance.
system. I bought another mic system to use with my Osmo Action 5, and it was just such a pain in the ass. And I thought, I think I actually paid $149. It was on sale. That's why I got it. So,
I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
when you bought that. You were talking about it. That's right.
but I bought the mic minis here the other day because they were like on sale, $149 at Best Buy, and and it's so easy. You just go in there and I don't have to plug a bunch of shit into it like I did
Nope.
using the knockoff brand with Sarmonic, I think, which are good. I mean, they're damn good, but but they're a pain in the ass to plug in, and got to have a special
Just lets
adapter
out of the
for
If
it.
that happens, you're doing it wrong. You shouldn't have a pain in your ass
Yeah,
when you're plugging it in. I don't I mean,
yeah, I know.
you're doing something
I'm
wrong.
obviously plugging it in. Yeah, that's where my damn
Yeah.
hearing aids are at too. Yeah,
Mm,
You might look at the instructions.
yeah. Yeah, I
That's
probably
why
need
they
to. Yeah.
sound shitty.
Yeah, you're like looking at them like this, and you go, "Oh." You turn them
Yeah,
over.
yeah. Wrong end. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you turn them over.
Wrong
You go,
end. Yeah.
"Oh."
You know.
Such an ass.
It's like that South Park where they're shoving food up their butts
Oh my
because
God.
somebody told them it was healthier. I don't know if you ever seen that one. It's hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what happened at Casa Bonita.
Yeah, it was funny for a little while. I thought the entire episode was that joke. You know what I mean? Which kind of went a long time. You know,
But Martha Stewart's segment was hilarious.
I
Where she
like
makes a roasted chicken. And then she sits on it. I thought I was gonna pass out. That was funny as hell. I don't know if she actually voiced it, but whoever voiced it did a really good job of emulating her.
unbelievable the shit those guys got away with. And still,
Yeah.
Okay, chaps. I'm gonna head out. I've got a
Gonna head
Easter
out?
lunch to
Shit.
go to. So
Okay.
Oh.
oh, Dominic,
Hey,
when did
Dominic.
you,
Hey, Dominic.
when did you get here?
It's yeah, not even 2 hours yet, Dominic.
yeah, I've got a 20-minute
7
drive to get there. So
Oh no,
Wow.
he's got things to do. He's
Got a
things to
hot
do.
date, Art.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got a
wish.
hot date.
Look at the shirt he's
hot
got
date.
on. He's all prepped. He's ready to go.
He's ready
Yeah,
to go,
yeah.
man. He borrowed his shirt from Lloyd, and he's on his way, man.
yeah,
Mhm.
All right,
You
Dominic. Happy
Yeah.
Easter to you, my friend.
Yeah, happy
you're
Easter,
looking
Dominic.
sway van de boner.
happy Easter to you all, and we'll see you
Enjoy,
soon.
Dominic.
Happy
Take
Easter.
care.
Good day, mate.
All right. And he's
Mhm.
gone.
With that, I'm going to jump off too because it's almost 7 o'clock here. I got to take the wife out for dinner. My Saturday night meal.
All right.
Yep.
I was just wondering what Dominic was going to honor the season and resurrect something. But
Yeah.
anyway, hey Tom, it's good
He's
seeing
going to
you.
get lunch.
Good to
See
Oh,
see
yeah,
you.
everybody.
resurrect something. Never mind.
Stay safe, Wall.
Too sophisticated for you,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Tom. Have a lovely evening. It's good. Happy Easter.
Yeah. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, Tom. Yeah.
Yep.
Good. And then there was 4.
And we're off.
God, I thought they'd never leave.
Yeah,
Jeez.
me too.
Well,
Joke.
oh,
Yeah,
man.
just
The
never
foreigners.
You know,
stop.
when
Appreciate
When Art-
everybody that comes in here.
when Art leaves, we have so much fun. Oh shit,
everybody
you're still
comes
here,
in
Art.
and
I'm
goes,
sorry.
Ah, you little.
That's when we get all the nudes on here.
Yeah.
Got all the naked ladies on here after Art leaves.
Naked News up next. Kind of
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
the early
See
days.
that, and all I can sit there and I see my video here. I'm looking at it. All I can think of that song is "I Don't Look Good Naked Anymore." That's my theme song right there.
Ah,
Yeah, you see,
I'm
and
not
now
sure you ever
saying
look
that-
good naked, Lloyd.
I know you saying that. I almost envisioned it, and just the fact that I almost envisioned it, I'm a little irritated.
You guys are rooming, and you guys are roommating too. Whoa.
Were
All right.
Mm,
I don't
yeah.
even want to know
No,
what
I-
happens in St. Port Lucie stays in St. Port Lucie or whatever. Apparently,
yeah,
well, there's
neither
one
are-
time at drone camp.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I really enjoyed myself this year.
Well,
I'll just
baby.
leave it at that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 It was a nice
Nice.
visit, Lloyd.
Yeah.
And yeah, believe me, neither one of us is worth peeking through the window at. To tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one here. I'm not either, so I got no room to talk.
Yeah.
That's why we're
Last
all
time
the
I
damn
looked good naked
quiet.
was I was still in my 20s, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try not to look in the mirror when I'm changing my
I am
clothes.
losing weight, by the way. I want to announce that. I mean, the 2 visits. To
Yeah, you
the
lost
gym-
about 5 or 6 ounces, didn't you?
Well, I did that. Well, no.
Yeah, you went to
It was actually only 2 ounces, 61
Oh.
grams. It was, yeah,
got
Mm.
lighter, thinner
more than twice the
hair
normal.
now.
Huh?
He's-
Yeah, no,
he's
I've
wearing the
I've
thinner
lost
hair.
at least 10, 11 pounds so far.
Oh,
Well, good,
Yeah.
good for
good.
you.
No, I'm eating
Not
less.
me.
I've noticed that I'm eating less. I don't know.
Not that I care because I never cared while I was down there. I never cared to ask, but I'm going to ask you this time. How are you feeling now after a few more weeks of it?
Yeah.
Any
It
better?
feels a lot better. I've been sitting here. Well, the way I'm sitting would explain that. I'm like way out on the but it hurts less to sit for long periods. I'm still not ready,
Tender?
not ready for
Yeah.
prime time,
Yeah.
but I'm fine.
Good.
Good.
I am going to Dad's tomorrow, so that's going to happen.
Good.
So I'm sitting in the car.
Are you going to get him that handicapped helmet?
A
You
handicap
know, like Timmy.
for incontinence. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, Timmy.
I could see put that on the application. I mean, I suffer from some incontinence, so I'd like a handicap spot, so I'm closer to
Oh,
the
there you
bathroom.
go. They could say, no shit.
Incontinence
Art.
isn't poop. It's anything that comes out. Art,
Yeah. Or if they say no, because they piss on you, buddy.
buddy.
Buddy. Piss on you, buddy. No, piss on you. Not you, buddy.
I'll go without the damn diaper. No one says I can't piss on myself in my pants. Nobody can see what's going on. That's not indecent exposure.
Yeah, buddy.
Buddy.
Buddy. Get your hands off our maple syrup, buddy.
Yep.
Oh God. I tell
Wait,
you,
I wonder if Jim's still mad, by the way. I haven't seen. Have you seen Jim in the chat? Jim's droning. He was a little irritated yesterday. He kept posting stuff like, Canada's never going to rely on the U.S. ever again and stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, but it's cool. It's all good. It's like I was saying to Cool Cap. Everybody has a right to their opinion to every subject, no matter who you are, where you live, your intelligence levels, your intelligence level, or whatever. Hey, it's all good.
I hope he can come back in.
Yeah, I hate to see people. Everybody has a right to their opinion, and that's the problem with a lot of people, that they don't think you have a right to your opinion. Now, you don't have to regard my opinion. I don't have to regard your opinion. But that doesn't mean you don't have a right to have it.
Nobody's going to take over Canada. I mean, the whole whatever. We're partners. We're partners either way, whether they're part of this country or not. I mean, that's the way that's the way it's going is, and that's the way it's going to continue. They're just going to rearrange the what that means a little bit, and then move on. And period. We do have a large overall
trade deficit.
A trade deficit with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with Mexico, believe it or not. Shit's got to stop. No, I mean,
I agree with the rest of the world that should be our focus, though.
I've heard that argument. Nobody wants the manufacturing jobs. Blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Once people start, eventually people got to do something. And then you work for a good company, and you're starting around 30 an hour with union benefits and whatever the hell else. I'm sorry, but you can lead a decent life as a human being in this country. You know what I mean? Your wife might not even have to work, depending on where you live.
That dream is almost gone, though. I ain't gonna lie. That's a hard dream to maintain anymore. I mean, single person in a marriage working. It's a tough one.
We both work. We got no kids, but we could afford them if we were young enough to have them right now. We could.
Only live on just your pay. And live on just your pay.
Oh no,
2 kids.
That.
That's what I'm saying. That dream is about had it. That Ward Cleaver, Leave It to Beaver dream, where mom sits at home all day and does the household work. I'm gonna finish the sentence. You watch.
Yeah, but I want to finish the answer to that question.
I didn't have to finish the question, but go ahead.
No. I said you asked me about whether I.
Oh, you personally? Okay, go ahead.
Just my income. Well, I'll tell you the truth. I am in a kind of a position where that could probably be true too, because the house is almost paid off. You know what I mean? Now that wouldn't be the case as a young person starting out.
Exactly.
But I have that advantage now. That if we had to, we could take. She's got some savings aside. I got somewhere. We could actually pay the house off right now.
Right.
And then have nothing, for spare cash for right now. That would
right.
Well, I'm not doing that,
Well, that's not the point, though. You know what I mean? Because you have those savings because she worked.
Yeah. But as a young person, it's very difficult.
I'm just saying that dream, graduate high school, get a job at the paper mill or whatever, at the steel plant or whatnot, Get married to your high school
Like I
sweetheart.
said, it depends
Start
where
pumping out kids.
it depends where you live. Cost of living's a lot lower in states besides Michigan and Florida and New Jersey and New York.
Yeah, Oklahoma's got one of the lowest cost
The
of living
places that
around.
Lon, that you and I are more accustomed to. Really, I know you've lived in other places too. I understand that. Even areas in Pennsylvania, perfectly fine state to live in. I lived there for around 26, 27 years, and there's areas there that are very cheap to live. Taxes are low, crime rates low. They're a little off the beaten path a little bit, but that makes in some ways that makes them even better because it's just it's prettier that way. There's a lot of hills, a lot of mountains, a lot of trees, a lot of
but
places to fish. But anyway, there's a
the
lot
income
of
levels are low too.
There's
Income
I
level is
understand
low
that.
too, man.
I understand that.
So
Mhm.
it's all relative. Around here, you walking off the street making $20 an hour.
It's all relative.
You know what I mean?
If you live
But
with
it's
your relatives,
$1,500 to rent a 1-bedroom apartment. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
well, yeah, it's just it's the same thing
yeah.
here.
So
It's the same thing here.
yeah, exactly. So it's all relative. Yeah, in Missouri, you might be able to rent an apartment for $800 a month, but you're going to walk in the door and make $11 an hour, or $12 an hour probably. So
Yeah, I think right now in Oklahoma, I think that the average starting wages are around $13-14 an hour. But that
Yeah.
the average wage that everybody gets overall is probably closer to about $22 an hour.
It's going to be
Yeah.
more than that. I bet you if I pull the stats up, it's more than you think.
It might
well,
be.
you might be right.
It might be.
You might be.
I've been retired so damn long, I don't pay attention.
That sounds
Yeah.
a bit low, Lloyd.
Yeah.
You might be surprised.
Yeah.
They're still trying to hire people at McDonald's and Taco Bell around there for $14, which is crazy because for a minute there, they're offering like $20 an hour to go work at Taco Bell. And it was crazy.
Same here.
Yeah.
Higher than that. And I think it was Taco Bell. There was a restaurant right on US 1. They had the sign out front, starting wages, and it was like crew leaders, 22 an hour, assistant manager trainees, 26 and up, and they had that out front because they had a hard time finding people. And doesn't mind it sound like a lot of money to some of you chowderheads out there.
True.
But that's a lot of fucking money in a restaurant business. Let me tell you right now. And you know what they
Right,
did?
Josh.
You know what they did though? They never gave them full-time hours. So they didn't. It was kind of I shouldn't say scam. They got the pay, but they got no
They
benefit.
took the
never
jobs.
worked
They didn't have to.
They didn't work enough to get the benefits.
It is what it is.
They weren't getting full-time hours either. They were because people would just come and go, and they would just
Right. Yeah.
spin to win. They call that.
Here's one for you. Our Michigan just started this. Every employer, and I think it's over 30 hours, but I'm not 100%, has to give their employees of a maximum of 9 days PTO time a year.
We don't have anything like that here.
They just passed that. So it's got a lot of these small businesses scrambling, trying to figure out what they want to do. Because
Well, how did the
9
government
days
decide
of
it was
PTO is a
okay?
lot.
Yeah, of course it is. Per times, even a small business is 60 employees. We're considered that place is considered a small business, obviously, but at least that, and he's got another one like that. It would suck because it didn't happen here. So
It'd be an expense. I mean, it'd be a large expense.
Tell you what, yeah.
And Bill, you were right. The average hourly wage in Oklahoma is $24 an hour.
There you go.
So I missed by $2, so but still.
That's not the starting wage, though. That's the average wage. Like I make like
That's the
$42
average
an hour,
wage,
right?
yeah.
So if you average me and some guy starting at McDonald's, yeah, it's going to look like the average wage
the
is
average is
$32 an
$49,000
hour.
a year.
But
Yeah, but there's a lot more of him.
Yeah.
There's a lot more of him than there are of you, though, Lon. So it skews it down quite a bit.
yeah. But there's a lot of people way above me too, though. I'm just saying.
Not nearly as many as those McDonald's style workers. They're everywhere.
No, you're
I'm
not
the guy
wrong.
that hires those people.
Yeah. How's that going for you? Because I know around here they can't. Nobody wants to make work for less than $20 an hour.
Oh, they come in, take the
Right.
job. They don't. They just. It's everybody wants a job until they get one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get that job experience. Yeah, build up that experience to
Well, it's just so
get a
many,
better job
and
and make
they're
more
not kids. Well, they're kids,
17,
but that are still living at home.
17, Lloyd.
Still living at home with
17
their
is our
parents
average
in their
starting.
in their mid-20s.
Uh-huh.
Still live, they're coming in for jobs. And if it doesn't work out, they don't give a fuck. They
Yeah.
go home to that bedroom at my mother's house, you know, or
Yep.
In the basement. Yeah.
yeah, whatever, until you find another one.
Uh,
And you know what?
Yeah.
Like, that sounds logical, but it shouldn't be. You shouldn't feel that way. You should
No.
have just a tiny depth, just a little tiny depth, a dimple, maybe a pimple's worth of character, just
Right.
a
Yeah.
Yeah.
little tiny bit. When you commit
Right.
and you get to know people and you act like you're their friend, and I don't mean me as the manager, although there's that too. I mean, you treat people decent, you'd expect to be treated back the same way.
Right.
But
Yeah.
never mind me. How about just the people that you let down, because we don't put a lot of people on at a time. Missing just one person to an entire week's schedule because they just decided to up and go. You know, that's
Mm-hmm.
you know who ends up that puts it on everybody else to cover that.
Right.
Right.
You just
Yep.
did one of these and said, well, you want to leave? Put a notice, man. People suck.
I face that every day, and I don't mean this. And you might take this harshly, and I don't mean it harshly, but we'll schedule
But-
people to put in. No, we'll schedule in people to put in a hangar door at the airport or something like that, or a factory door where the guy's running $500,000 worth of materials through every day, and guys don't show up, and we got to call that customer and tell them, "Oh shit, sorry, sir, I don't think we're going to be able to do that job today." You know what I mean? So I'm down there with you. These guys call in at a drop of a hat. You know, I stubbed my toe, I got the sniffles, you know, whatever. It's just insane. You know, and I would never, I haven't taken a day off in 5 or 6 years.
But here's the thing:
I haven't taken a sick day.
those guys are paid double what the people I'm talking about are being paid. So
Yeah,
I'm
that
not-
makes it even
I'm
worse
not-
that
I'm
they
not-
just blow it off, is what I'm saying.
No, I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying I see it probably more often than you because I'm not getting that anybody that could even get that kind of job. And the ones that are decent, they don't stay because they move on with their lives. And I feel good for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're leaving on good terms. They worked hard. I got one leaving right now. I've worked with since he was in high school, and now he's got the job that he wants. And after a couple of years, he did a little internship, you know, and now he's moving. And he finally got the job that he wanted. So good for him. I'm glad. He's a good kid, you know. But that sucks,
so-
you know. And replace because God, you don't see it a lot, you know. I mean, you see it. There's some, they're fine, you know.
It's
They're
few
great.
and far between, though.
They-
And it's all about the way they're raised, and quite frankly, our generation and the one behind us is to blame. There's no nice way of putting it. You know what I mean? We coddled all these kids and told them they were all special and yada yada, and
Yeah.
you know now their expectations are sky high.
Hey, you know, I
And
was
what they're
told that
willing
said
to
you
do
could
is
be anything you want to be, but you got to work for it. That was the difference. You know what I'm saying? You could be anybody. You're just as smart as anybody. They'll say that. They'll say that you're just as good as anybody else, but you gotta work for it. That's all you got. You raise them thinking like that, and eventually it sinks in. Hopefully, not
Yeah.
always. You know, nature, nurture. I don't know.
Yep, Primec. You're exactly right, Josh. It's insane. I just had to fire a guy last week or 2 weeks ago now. Dude, it just
Yeah,
and
like
it's-
what Josh puts up there.
exactly. He's exactly right. Yeah. Like I said, they think they're all special. They all think they're irreplaceable when they do hire him.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. You know, like they're doing you a favor.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's like. They're doing you a favor.
They're doing you a favor.
And here's another thing too that makes it harder because most of them are just part-time employees, so they really they're already a step down that they're not going to take somebody that needs full-time work. At least needs full-time work. You can't always get full. You can get work; it's out there, but you can't always get full-time work. That can
Full-time
fit your,
work, yeah.
that can fit your schedule on top of it. You know what I mean? And we're flexible because of our shifts. You know, days, night. So, you know, I do have a couple that are full time, and they're the most reliable fuckers out of all the group. You know what I mean? Because they need the money. You know, so, whatever.
Yeah. It's sad. It's just sad. And it's hard for me to articulate just how
Just where's your health?
heart destroying it is for me. You know, seeing it now versus when I first started. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's just, and you sound like an old fogey or whatever, but
It can't help. It
it's
can't help
just
but bring you down
incredible.
because you liked a lot of them too when they're walking in the door, thinking, "Yeah, this guy's going to work out." You know, it makes it
Yeah.
even worse. You know,
Yeah.
you can even some you can tell right away. This is, this isn't
Yeah.
going to work out. You know,
No
actually,
call,
what I
no
really
show.
like is when I think that and they do work out. That's even better, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you get a lot of it. It's just crazy. No call, no show. I couldn't even imagine that. Not even taking the time to call and say, hey,
Yeah.
I'm not going to work
Yeah.
there anymore, or I'm not coming in today, or, I'm done, or whatever.
Right.
They're not having the balls to just, they just don't show up. And I'm telling you, Bill, we don't hardly have a day go by. At least one person doesn't call in. Friday, 3 people called in.
I tell you what, more times than not,
I have like a 20-man
actually
crew.
tell you, "Oh, I didn't know I was on the schedule," or "I did try to
But we don't
call,
have
but
that problem.
nobody picked up the phone." Well, we don't accept either one of those. Nobody does. I mean, just the fact that they think that would work. You're not talking to your fucking parents.
Right. Well, no, I don't have that problem because we work every day. You know what I mean? It's not a schedule.
Lie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have an automated system. You can't use that other lie either. That
Right.
doesn't work. Yeah. So,
Of course not.
no, it's just sad. It doesn't bring me down in a sense because luckily for me, I don't have any kids or whatever. A lot of people get that, oh, I worry for my children or my grandchildren or whatever. That's one problem I don't have. So y'all can destroy the world if you want to. I have a 5 years max left on this bitch. Maybe that. So I'm not that worried about it. You guys can destroy it if you want. But it's just annoying to watch it. Watch it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you're on the Titanic and you can see the damn iceberg. And and you're like, hey, you're yelling up to the crow's nest and nobody's paying any attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the only part of it for me that is annoying.
Yeah,
Yep.
and like Josh says, the education system now is filling their heads full. When they started
Right.
giving these participation trophies, that's
Yeah.
and I blame like my generation because we were the ones that stick it to the man, anti
Mhm.
the
Hippies.
hippies. I mean, the damn hippies and what we did, and I saw it especially with Judy. She was the hippie. I was more of the straight redneck guy, and she was the hippie. And she taught the kids to be open minded and thinking and all of this, and then they taught their kids, and their kids are worthless as tits on a boar hog because
Mhm.
they they turned out worthless because. And it started with us, it started with our generation saying, you can't always trust. And
Right.
you're kind of funny, Lloyd, because I heard that. Whenever I've heard you refer to a hippie, you've always said, "Fucking hippies." That's how you introduce them. Until you refer to Judy as a hippie, all of a sudden the fucking part disappeared.
yeah,
I caught that. Just so you know.
Right.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
let's see.
hippies.
Who we got in here? Alexis, hey. Well,
Hey,
Alexis.
there she is.
Oh, there she is.
Lloyd, the problem with being open-minded is if you're too open-minded, your brains will fall out.
And I think that's what happened with that next
Yep.
generation.
That's
The
right.
damn brains fell. Although
Well,
both my boys
Go.
are pretty conservative in their beliefs, but
Good.
my daughter, she's definitely went down the hippie road, and she's one of them fucking hippies,
Speaking of effing hippies, here's Alexis. Hey.
Hey, let's
Hey, I don't know if I can see everybody. I don't know what's going on.
We can see you.
We can see you.
We see you fine.
I can see Bill, Lloyd, and Lon.
Yeah.
If you
Whoever's
can't
under
see Art,
that.
you're
That's all
blessed.
you need to say, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't want to see Art anyways. Who the hell wants to see Art?
You're only
Motion
missing a little bit.
How can I get your device? where do I sign up for that service?
Yeah.
Don't
Art,
pay any
you're
attention to
You're just
them,
too little to show up in her camera.
We don't want to.
Don't pay any attention to
Maybe
him,
you
Art.
could double tap it or scroll it up because we don't want to short shrift you.
Woo! Short jokes.
Oh no. I don't know what's going on. It's weird.
Yeah.
You did
See,
it from a
'cause
short
you probably
age.
don't see yourself either, do you?
No, I don't see.
Right, because
I
you're
see.
right next to Art.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did yesterday.
Okay.
There. Now I can see it, but it's vertical.
Okay.
It's
There you go.
Yeah, but you're not vertical to us, so it's all
You're not
good.
vertical to us. Yeah.
I'm vertical to everybody. I'm too tall to be otherwise.
Well, yeah, you are more
that's
Don't
vertical
you
than
have
I am.
kids? You had to get horizontal once in a while.
You know, I
Once in a
don't think I've
while.
ever been this close to your shoulder.
Um, yeah, I'm on my phone because I haven't eaten since. Well, actually, the only thing I've had today is 4 slices of bread and one little tiny sugar-free pudding, and the rest of my time's been in the hospital.
What
Oh
were
wow,
you in the
what's the matter?
hospital for?
Jeff's near death.
I'm
Oh,
sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
yeah.
well, that makes two of us. So,
So it was a lot serious. It's very serious then.
oh yeah, they're thinking it might be pancreatic cancer.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
Yeah.
oh no.
So he was admitted. Let's see, he was admitted on Monday, and so we were there. What is today? Saturday. So
Saturday.
we were there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He was discharged yesterday. Yeah, Friday. And they said they needed. Well, they didn't. I'm getting this all gumbled up, but I've been through so much. Uh, they did an endoscopy on him on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. I don't know. Anyway, they did an endoscopy on him to try to get down and get a biopsy, and so they couldn't get the tissue that they really wanted. They got as close as they could, so they took a biopsy, but it wasn't really where they were targeting.
Right.
See myself. Am I horizontal or vertical on your screen?
You're
You're
good.
You're
fine.
horizontal.
You're
You're
good.
fine.
Because
You're
I got
good.
my phone vertical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All I
but
can see
that's
is-
not how you're coming out. You're coming out fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, the biopsy didn't show anything, but they said that's probably because they didn't get really where they wanted to be.
Where they wanted
And
to.
so, Eric, I'm kind of watching us over here. See that big old TV set?
Ah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
There you go. There's the infinity view, right?
Bit of a
So,
delay.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
a hell of a
Delay.
delay.
yeah. Anyway, so they discharged him yesterday saying, okay, we want you to come back on Monday because we've got a doctor coming down from San Antonio to do what they call an ultrasound endoscopy, which they don't have anybody qualified in Corpus to do this, nor do they have the equipment. So I guess they bring everything with them because they said at first we would have to go to San Antonio to get this done. And we said, okay, whatever it takes. And they said, well, wait a minute, we got this nurse not nurse, a doctor that comes in
Doctor.
once a month. She's going to be in on Monday to do the ultrasound endoscopy. And we said, okay. And then we were told, oh, wait, she's coming in on Monday, but she's not doing those ultrasound endoscopies until Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. But we want you to check back in Monday just to be ready for Tuesday. And we're going, okay. Well, anyway, we were ecstatic. We were so happy to get home together um, yesterday. So he was just thrilled. I was thrilled. So he actually got to sleep in our own bed last night, obviously. And so this morning I got up about 4 hours before he did. Um, did a bunch of cleaning because the dogs and cats are always shedding. It's a constant job. So got all my cleaning done, and so I went upstairs to shower so I wouldn't disturb him. And he finally got up about 4 or 5 hours later, and he was feeling pretty good. But a couple hours later, then he started feeling really nauseous, and then his pain level. They gave him Percocet because they had him on uh, morphine through his IV while he was in the hospital just to kill the pain. from this
Right.
mass or tumor or whatever the heck it is. Anyway, I'll try not to make this too long. So,
Take your time.
yeah, it's not. It's just my brain's killing me. I mean, it's just my.
Is it
I got
back pain, by the way? Is it
No,
back
it
pain?
hasn't
Massive
radiated all
back
the
pain?
way. Hasn't radiated all the way his back. It feels like it's going that way, but it doesn't go all the way to his back. That's why we don't really know if it's cancer, and we're hoping to God, of course, it's not.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
other promising thing is the ultrasound and the MRIs are showing that it's not really pancreatic cancer per se, um, because it's not in the nodes and
Mm-hmm.
it's not in the liver as well.
Oh,
Um, so it's a mass that's right around the duodenum, which is the base of the stomach where it empties into the small intestine.
right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the good news is it's not in or coming from the pancreas or the liver, but the bad news is that this tumor mass, whatever the heck it is, has got his duodenum completely surrounded along with the blood vessels. So it's really hard. They can't even do a colon resection in there because there's nothing
Right.
to cut off because it's right at the base of the
That's
stomach where it
it.
goes up. So it's a really complicated case from what we can see. And this happened remember how that's why I didn't come to the South Florida drone meetup was because
Mm-hmm.
Jeff was not feeling well.
Right.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
just canceled. I said, you come before everything, so I'm not leaving you. And so I didn't, obviously, and I'm
Good.
glad I didn't. So anyway, yeah, we had this they call it so we went back to the ER today because the pain built so much. The Percocet wasn't taking care of the pain. He didn't have the morphine, obviously. So hold on, I gotta get it right. So he said, I need to go back to the ER today, baby. He said, I'm just in so much pain. He said, I can't tolerate it anymore. I said, okay, let's go. So we got in the car and we took off. Of course, you have to be readmitted, go through the ER. And now the
Right.
really fortunate
Triage and
thing
stuff.
is,
Yeah.
well, no, it was really, really quick because just like it was the first time, because we have a hospital like it's about a mile that way. Well, that way, actually. But anyway, it's super close to our house, not even a mile. We know the doctor who is the director of the emergency room. So I let her, Monday last week, I let her know. I said what was going on. And she goes, come on over. She goes, I'm not there today, but I'm going to text the people that are and we'll get you right in. And she did. We were like, bam, in and bam, in a room. So well, they don't do endoscopies at this hospital right by us either, which is completely retarded. But so anyway, we had to go to what they call Spawn Shoreline, which is still not far. Corpus is not a very big town. I mean, it's like not like Houston or San Antonio. And so anyway, so she called the director at the other hospital saying, "Hey, we got friends coming over. It's Jeff and Alexis Green. Um, get them right in if you can, please." They said, "Okay." So when we got there, they knew we were coming. We weren't in the lobby but 5 minutes, and
Oh,
we were back in an ER,
That's good.
thing, and they were bam on it. So then we started. I started to say this. We had a what do they call a tele something another access call, and it was some kind of internist at the hospital. Never spoke to this woman ever before, but she's the doctor there. That's an internist, and um, she was going I guess she had been assigned Jeff's room and she was like kind of out of the loop and she was saying we're going to discharge you tomorrow morning and we're like what, we just got here and we're supposed to be checking in on Monday, so we were not supposed to be here till Monday, but we're here tonight because the pain's too great. Why were you coming in Monday? I had to catch her up to speed to everything I just told you. She had no clue, so she's looking through all of Dr. Pennington's notes and blah blah blah. He was the other internist that was putting this team together because he's already got an oncologist and everything on board in case he needs it.
Right.
Hope to God he doesn't. So anyway, he got assigned a new room. That was a little slower than the first time, but we were still quicker than a lot of the folks, and we were very appreciative. And so now he's in a different room. He's got a better view, but he'll never see it because he's on his back or he's in his bed and it's on the other side of the room. But yeah, it kind of sucks. I mean, not kind of, it really does. Because if it is pancreatic, I mean, I used to work in surgery. I know enough about this stuff to know that this could be life-threatening. So we're just praying for the best outcome, and have to.
Is radiation a consideration?
It is. If it's cancer, we have already with the oncologist, just so he would have a slot. We have a follow-up on May 6th, 2 days before my birthday. Great birthday present. But I mean, we're blessed. I mean, there's a lot of folks that can't afford this or don't have insurance or don't live in a country that we have this wonderful modern technology.
Yeah.
So the cancer center is actually where I used to take my mom, and it's right across the street. And I used to work at this hospital too. There's the one on Shoreline about 20 years ago. But anyway, we already got an appointment on May 6th, just as a follow-up. And they've already talked like we can do chemo because they do chemo there. They do radiation. My mom had radiation on her spleen there. Unfortunately, she didn't react to it. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, this has just been, God. So
Mind numbing.
Yeah, it is. And you've been through this, Lloyd, and I'm so sorry for your loss because I mean, this is just like the worst thing you can do is lose a mate. You know?
Yeah. It's
And Lon, you've been through this.
You've been through it.
Yeah, I've been through it too.
It sucks. And I've seen this so much, but I've never been on the patient end. I've always been on the, and Jeff, he's been practicing medicine for 45 years.
Yeah.
And he still loves his work. He still loves what he does, and he wants to go back. So anyway, that's all I got to say.
Yeah. Well, the good news is, if there is good news, because I've been like avoiding this subject, but they think they don't know, because you know how it is. But there's a big concern that I have pancreatic cancer. Because I got the back pain to go with it, so that's what they're at for me. And I got to go in the 6th. Wait a minute, is it the 6th? That would be so coincidental. Is it the 6th? It might be the 6th. I gotta go in like the first week of May for NRI. Is not an MRI? What's the other one for?
CAT scan.
Well, it's for the pelvic area. Yeah, they're gonna scan my pelvic area.
Could
CT
be a PET scan.
or an MRI, either one.
Or a PET scan.
I gotta go in for that. Yeah, I gotta go in for that. So they can figure it out. They're not sure yet.
I had no idea. Are you having abdominal pain all the way to the back?
Oh yeah, I got abdominal pain on my left side and all the way to my back. Yep.
How are you managing the pain?
Willpower.
Oh man, Jeff couldn't do it. It was just too intense. I mean, he was like, and we've already had our good cries together because it's like this could be it.
Yeah,
you just never know. But I'll be including you in my prayers, Lon.
Absolutely.
It's just
I'm due, man, so don't worry about it. Save all your prayers for Jeff. Because you gotta worry about that.
God's big enough; He can handle it all.
Yeah, He can. Yeah.
Scripture says it's appointed unto man once to die, and then come the judgments. So, God's big enough to handle it all. I'm not, but He is. And my heart bleeds for people who are going through this stuff, and I have a real compassion for people who go through strokes and heart attacks, because that's how I lost my dad back when I was 19.
Yeah.
That's what got me interested in nursing.
That was. We went through the cancer and the cancer and the stroke with Judy and the heart attack. So.
Oh God.
And it's a long. And I know what you're saying, because that last 3 months that she was alive, you just get your mind just turns to mush. Is you got so much information, and every little thing, something else is going on. Next thing you think you got one thing, and boom, something else happens. You get one, and you just go numb. Your mind just you get to a point you don't know what you're doing. It's mush. So I feel I could see the look in your face when you came on here. It's like, I've been there. I know what she's going through, and I feel
I'm
for you
just
on
wore
that.
out. You know, I'm just
Yeah,
exhausted.
it wears you out.
I've been up
Mhm.
since 4:30 this morning.
Wow.
Um, and I thought we were going to have the whole day together. I haven't taken care of the chickens or the ducks, but they've got plenty of food out there. That's the last of my concerns. Dogs and cats were fine. Um, you know, we had them all inside so don't wake up everybody around us. But yeah, it's just hard. And I just, you know, you know, it's like the, yeah, I think that, the medical expertise that Jeff has and what I can remember, because I've been out of it for 20 years, um, almost 20. Uh, it really helps, you know, because a lot of people they just get totally rattled when they just
Right.
hear the
Yeah.
word hospital, much less being in there and hear all the beeps and all the
Right.
machinery. They don't understand what all this stuff is, and we're like, oh, okay, that's this, that, and the other.
I
You know,
I spent half of my childhood in a hospital, so I know all about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you do.
Yeah.
My heart hurts for you too, and I know you
Yeah.
lost a sibling. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Life is not fair, that's for sure.
No, no,
And
yeah.
it isn't. You
and
know.
what you know, and of course Bill, you know, of course he's hello Bill, but
Yeah.
Bill's been through it recently too. I mean, what his surgery was
Yeah.
is very. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
that's not an easy surgery.
No.
Right.
No.
You know, very
And,
messy.
I had that close call with. Fortunately, it was a mild heart attack, and it didn't do much damage to the heart. So I skated by that one. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I'm telling you. See, there, I'm having Dinty more. That was the can.
yeah.
I let the dog lick out the can. Look at that. I can send it back to them. They can reuse
Well,
it.
it's clean it out. Yeah. Yeah.
Be right back. I'm gonna throw this out before
All
they
right.
chew it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does, man. It numbs you after a while. You just
Yeah.
get, especially because it seems like when it happens, it's like a long stretch where you're not getting any rest, you're not getting any break, and you want
Right.
to be there for your loved one, and it wears you out, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Well, I got lucky, if you want to use the term, because mine was sudden. I mean, she had asthma the entire time I knew her,
right,
but she died suddenly, based on
Right.
some poor decisions on her part, quite frankly. And she did a bunch of shit she shouldn't have been doing, and she paid the price, but it was sudden. And so that was almost lucky, for lack of
Right.
a better
yeah,
term,
Mhm.
yeah. Sometimes I've had that. I've gone over that question in my head. You know, which is best to lose them really quick and unexpected, and it's a hard hurt and pain, and but then
Right.
you get past it,
Yeah.
or
Car accident.
sitting with them for 10 years, watching them slowly deteriorate, and like I went with
Right.
Judy,
Right.
it was
Mhm.
it was so hard on her, which made it hard on me because it was just, and when you see your loved one like that, you're
Mhm.
helpless. I don't care.
I think that
Mhm.
I really think it's more difficult for like for you than it was for your wife, perhaps.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Oh, she
I
lost
wonder if her phone
connection.
died. I wonder if her battery was low or something like that.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, I
Like
mean, it does. It is hard on the caretaker, especially
right.
when it's a
Oh,
long,
there's
uh, drawn
Drawn
out
out.
situation, you know. And
right.
Mhm.
I'd
Like,
made back when Judy was first diagnosed with cancer, I made a point then that I didn't care if this house rotted down around me. I was spending every minute I could. If it's just sitting there with Judy, laying there in bed watching stupid. God, I've seen every episode of Downton Abbey and the movies
oh,
probably 20 or
Yeah.
30 times. Those were her favorite shows, so we
yeah.
watched them, you know.
Right.
Mhm.
I'm catching up on stuff now because I don't even turn my TV on. I just watch it either here on the computer or watch it in there on my iPad. My
Right.
Right.
I haven't even updated it since I got fiber optics. So I got to log in to get on
Oh,
and log to switch out
cool.
the
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, I feel for Alexis. I've seen that tired look in myself, and
Oh yeah.
those last 3 months, that's what it was like, and
Yeah.
that's why last year when I came down to the South Florida Drone Meetup, I needed that break to clear my head, but it
Right.
was still too soon for me to enjoy it. That's why this year was
Mm.
so much more enjoyable.
Right.
Well,
Except
Right.
you
I'll be
weren't
honest
there,
with you.
Lon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I won't lie to you. Like the last time I had cancer, I talked my boss into laying me off, and then I moved to North Carolina because I didn't want to be that imposition. You know what I mean? And this time
Yeah.
around, if it turns out that it's going to go that way, I'm going to check out. I'll be honest with you, because I don't want to see that look on someone else's face.
Yeah.
You know, someone trying
Yeah.
to wipe my ass or drag me around the living room or whatever, you know, and drag me to bed
Yeah.
and wheel me out to the garden or whatever the hell, goofy shit like
Well,
that. You know, I'm not trying to have
right.
that. You know what I mean?
Well, with Judy and I, that was one of the things. We just been married a couple of years when my MS hit, multiple sclerosis,
Mm-hmm,
and I was
mm-hmm,
paralyzed. I lost the use of my
mm-hmm,
legs, and sometimes I'd lose use of all my extremities, but for the most part, I'd never lost my right hand very often. But I mean, my hand was all this hand here was shriveled up, and
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I was in, and she'd pick me, she'd pick my, and of course, the only hand that worked was my right hand, which is the one I ate with. And my mother was one of those. She was always sending
I was
stuff
just
over.
thinking, what other hand do you need?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
exactly.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
We had a cousin. She's a friggin' airhead. I mean, she was a blonde. She was a true blonde. Okay,
Uh,
and she
What does
comes
that mean?
down one day and she's asking Judy. She says, "Well, if he's paralyzed, how do you how do you do?" And I said, "Well," and I just looked at her and I said, "Well, you see that trapeze bar over my bed over there? Yeah." I said, "Judy gets on top and I pull on that damn thing as fast as I can." She shut shut her up so fast. She turned about 30 shades of red. What do you? I'm sitting here in an electric wheelchair and you're asking me how I have sex. That's the silliest.
Yeah,
What
there
an
you go.
Well,
idiot.
this is how I do it. I park in the corner, and Judy gets in the bed and fires up a 11-inch black dildo.
Yeah.
You know, it
I,
takes takes D batteries and
I just told her, I said,
goes
that's
to
why my
town,
right
and I
arm was stronger
watch.
because I grabbed that trapeze bar and get the motion going, and hey, it works. She goes,
Yeah,
do you really? I said, I'm not telling you. It's none of your damn business.
yeah.
And it
Now we
was
got a big
Judy's
guy
gut.
down the street that comes up every once a week, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, but we just and Judy, bless her heart, she was always reminding us, says, "Well, you remember I used to wheel you around and and pick you up and put you back in the chair." And so I said, "Yeah, I know, but you were also in your 30s. I was, I started out in my 60s." I said, "I'm a hell of a lot older than you were at that time," and I said, "I'm damn sure not in that good a shape." But she,
but you're a man.
exactly. And you know
Yeah.
something? I wouldn't trade for it. I'm glad I was there. I'm glad I was able to do it. But
Yeah.
that's the exchange we had. That was the way our marriage was designed. We were there for each other regardless, you know.
Mhm.
And
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
that's the way it's
I'm
supposed to be.
pretty sure
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's the point.
yeah, yeah.
That's
That's it. Sickness and health. And we really did. We lived that, richer and poorer. We started out poor and
Mhm.
we're by no means rich, but I'm
Mhm.
comfortable, you know.
Yeah.
Not as comfortable as I'd like to be, but if I quit buying shit, I'd probably be a lot more
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah. Mhm.
I know that
You know,
feeling. I've done more investing instead of being so dooming and glooming. Like 10 years
yeah,
ago, the last time I had cancer, I just got all doomy and gloomy and cashed in my
yeah,
401k and then just stopped doing the high contribution or whatever. I mean, I'm
right,
pushing around about 400k in my 401k, but still, I'd have a lot more than that if I would have, been more
yeah,
aggressive.
Yeah.
I've been just kind of like, all that goes in there now is my boss matches. So
Yeah.
whatever I put in, they match.
cool.
So
Right.
Bill, we were down there and uh, Johnny kept, saying duck and throwing those little ducks at us. I came home because he was talking about how he made them and everything. I thought, so I came home and I'll be damned if I didn't find a thing. I made up about 10 of these damn little ducks, and just I don't know. I thought, well, I'll put them on my RC. I'll mount them on the dash of my RC cars because they'll be good for that. So
I'm awake, brother Bob. I was just listening.
Hey, Bob.
I was just
You
listening.
got Jeeps? You got Jeeps? RC car Jeeps? You do, right?
yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, I have a.
Well, put ducks on them. That's what they all do.
Yeah, I've got a. It's a 24 scale.
Brother Bob.
It's bright green. I think it's the Rubicon. But yeah. This would fit. This would be perfect for that one right there.
So he printed those. Now I feel bad. He kept throwing them on my laptop.
I know there was
kind of busted my balls. I just was knocking them on the ground. I think I might have hurt his feelings.
I don't know. I meant to grab a few of them. I meant to grab several of them and get them off because that's where they were falling on the ground, and it's like,
what do you do with those things? I mean, I threw them at a few people. I did do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I winged them at a few people.
Yeah.
At least I didn't fall asleep. I didn't fall asleep this year.
No, you didn't. You were wide awake.
Yeah.
Actually, you got up and walked around for quite a bit of it. Because you got a couple of us sitting in there, keeping the seat warm for you.
Alexis is back. Hey,
I'm back.
You're back. Hey,
Did your phone run out of battery?
No, Jeff.
That was my guess.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
That's fair.
And of course, you always imagine the worst. They're already in the hospital.
Yeah.
So I'm going up to spend the night at the hospital with him. He's in agony, and the pain won't subside. These stupid doctors. I mean, even though we have a friend that's a director in one hospital, they can only do so much, right?
Yeah.
So and Jeff's at a completely different hospital. So what's going on before I go is he said he's in agonizing pain. Of course, there's all kinds of machines beeping, 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 and I'm thinking, is he coding? Are you okay? I mean, like I say, you know the sounds, but
yeah.
you're not there to look at it, and then you're starting to trying to identify the sounds. But anyway, he's in agonizing pain. They gave him a Percocet, and he's been nauseated all day. He's been throwing up at least 3 or 4 times now. And I go, what did they give you a Percocet for? And he said, for the pain. I go, well, I know it's for pain, but that's what they sent you home with, and that wasn't working, and that's why we went back.
Right.
They had him on morphine, like I said before. They had him on morphine. You got an IV and you got a Hep block in. Why don't they just give you some morphine? Well, they don't have doctor's orders. I'm like, well, they can call down to the ER and talk to that doctor and get a quick order.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the hospitalist hasn't checked in yet to give the orders. That's always the excuse I got.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much the same. The hospitalist that called us today via this whatever the heck they call it.
Yeah.
It was almost an 11-minute call, which was nice to have some attention, but she wasn't up to snuff. She hadn't read all the chart.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. The weekend hospitalist, they're because they do shifts. That's the problem I was having with Judy. Is like, come on, this is what she's in for. Let's get stuff started. I mean, I was lucky because I made it a point to try and learn as much as I could about what was going on with her.
Yeah.
So that I could, and our doctor that just retired, I'm pissed at him for that. Anyways,
How dare you?
I mean, son of a bitch is only 77. What the hell's he retiring at that age for?
Bastard.
Lazy bastard. Anyways,
Jeff wants to work to 75, so you got 2 more than what Jeff was shooting for. But I think that providing that if Jeff makes this through, and like I said, we're hoping and praying, but I think it's time to retire. I think it's just time. You know what? You've had this scrape. If he makes it through, we're gonna have that's the next big discussion. But right now we got bigger fish to fry.
Right.
I'm saying that I'm looking at the fish tanks. They're all like going fish to fry. So,
Yeah.
but I think that's the next, because we don't need
Yeah.
him working in order to make it. I heard you say, you're not rich, but you're not poor.
Right.
You know, nor are we. It's like,
Yeah.
but we've got an airplane, we can sell that. We've already,
Right.
it's just one of those things
You
you
got
live
stuff.
within your
Yeah.
means. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm glad I bought the spinners for next year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got your priorities straight.
Yeah, I mean that's what I
I
said.
get those spinners.
Well, and I said to him, I said, "Well, do you need me up there?" And he goes, "No, I don't need you up here, but I'd like to have you up here." And I said, "Well,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
finished eating, and I'll tell everybody,
Right.
what's going on. I'll get on the way." But it takes me probably about 20 minutes or so to get across town because Ocean Drive is a clear shot. I just got to get over to Ocean Drive, but at this hour, nah, not much traffic. So
So where they got him in general, or they got him in critical, or where they got him in?
they just got him in a room on a surgery room floor. He's up on
Oh.
7. So
So
Yeah.
you're allowed to be in there all night?
Oh yeah, I can get in there. At least I think I
Just
can.
curious.
I don't
I
know.
was
We'll
just
find
curious
out.
because I know some hospitals are, they
Yeah.
don't allow that shit. So I was just curious.
I've run into very few that they don't let you stay all night.
Yeah, well, this has
Well, it
like a
depends
little
on
love
what
seat in there that
level.
pulls out to a bed, and I noticed all
Right.
the bedding is wrapped up in like
Yeah.
plastic bags in the closet
Yeah.
area, so
Yeah.
it's got the pillow and the blankets. I just make that up and collapse. Um, but I'll have to come back in the morning because I got the dogs here, I got the cats here. I haven't fed the chickens or ducks today, so they're going to definitely need water changes and food tomorrow. But then
Yeah.
again, the stupid internist, well, I shouldn't say she's stupid, but the uninformed internist was saying, yeah, we'll just discharge him tomorrow. And I'm going, wait a minute, tomorrow's the day before he's supposed to go. Why is he coming back on Monday for? And I'm going, talk to Dr. Pennington. I don't know. I mean, you guys need to get on the same page, you know? So I was really looking forward to going to bed here, but yeah, I'll do it. Because you never know. It might be the last night, might be the first night of something good to happen too, I don't know.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he can get this pain under control because the poor guy's just, oh, and so he gave him the Percocet because he's nauseated. He threw it all up, I'm like, we have Percocet here at the house that they sent you home with. Why? It doesn't make any sense. And the nurse that he has there is just, I don't know how long he has been a nurse, but he's looks like he's missing a few.
The
And
weekend.
maybe he's a bright kid. Maybe he's really super bright. I don't know, but he just doesn't seem. And I know, and I told Jeff, I said, I realize he has to have orders from doctors. Okay, they just can't willy
Yeah.
nilly just pull out stuff from the medicine cabinet.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But at the same time, if you get somebody that's saying my pain level is between, an 8 and a 10 or somewhere in that neighborhood, then you need to
Yeah.
say stat. Get the ball rolling.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I hope it works. I hope
Yeah.
for the best for you. I
Praying
really do.
for you, Alexis.
thanks. It'll be interesting. I'm not going to say, and I appreciate the well wishes and the prayers for sure. It's just, this is why I don't like floor nursing. If you've probably heard me say that before, because you got patients like us going, we need pain meds, we need this, we need that, and you got 10 rooms doing the same thing, and you're,
Yeah.
it's like a glorified maid. That's why I like surgery. You do your stuff.
Right.
And you bring him a warm blanket, and you're the hero.
Oh, yeah.
And then you
Love
set
those
them away. You
love
never really have to
blankets.
interact with him.
Mhm.
So,
Well,
anyway, but
you take care of yourself too.
Yeah.
well, that's why I had to come home and eat. I was gonna eat. Well, their cafeteria was already closed. These are. Can you see those? I don't even know. I got
Yeah,
to
don't, yeah, don't eat those.
These are
Yeah, I
called
don't think those are.
tinfoil barbs. And if you look inside that I don't know. I can't see what you're seeing, but can you
Yeah.
see the barrel?
Yes,
Looks like.
kinda.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's the boobs. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Yeah.
I don't see the.
To the
Oh,
that's
that green. Wait a minute. No, that's a leaf.
Yeah, to the left of the leaf. That's a barrel.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see.
You can see
My
it when she's
TV is
pulled back
finally
away.
It's like
Oh.
moving in there.
It's like split right there.
Yeah.
Hold on just a second.
Yep.
I got it.
But did she
Oh,
push
the
it up?
fish inside that rock formation.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's the fire eel I thought that got away. Oh wait, here we go. We're going down.
We're going down.
Oh yeah, I see a tail or something. Yeah.
Flip the
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's
shit.
how you do it. Yeah.
And there she goes. Yep.
And there
Perfect.
she goes. Good night, cool cat. I think he's already left.
I think he's already
Alexis
left.
is
Yeah.
still here.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Oh, it's back.
Can you flip the camera the other way?
You should be able to.
when I did
You gotta
that-
go into settings, I think.
Go
No.
into
It's some kind
settings,
of Apple phone.
a
Don't
little
ask me.
gear.
It's
me
hard
see.
to say.
Can you see the fish inside that barrel? Or the eel?
No.
I can't see. Oh, wait a minute. What's the barrel? Is that white thing?
No, that.
Oh no, I gotta go up then.
Oh, that thing? No.
Yeah, with
That's
that big
not a barrel.
opening.
oh
in it,
yeah, that.
It's
Yeah,
a barrel
that's
with a
the
big
plant
opening.
to the left of the plant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a barrel with a great
Yeah.
big
barrel,
opening in it.
like a
Mhm.
rotted out barrel.
God, I said it like 10 times.
Oh, it's like a wine barrel. If you go a
Yeah.
little
I
bit to
guess.
the left, Alexis, we'll see it better.
To the left,
Oh, I
to
see
the left.
something sticking out.
No,
Yeah.
no,
that's
the other
the
way.
right,
Go
honey.
the other way.
The other direction.
Your other
Yeah,
left.
no, that's up. And a little bit more.
A little bit.
Well, you
a
can
little
see
bit
Right
the
more.
back
head
where you were.
sticking. See the
Yeah,
head
I
sticking
see.
out?
Yeah, I see the head.
That's a
sticking
head.
out.
That's
Yep.
the face. Yeah,
Got a
that's
little
the
pointy
Yeah.
thing.
It looks like a stick sticking out the side of it. No,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
big
Oh, and it
barrel.
hasn't moved at all. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I see it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that
that's
thing was
called,
alive.
I thought it was just a stick as
Oh
part
wait,
of the
it's moving.
decoration.
It's moving. I don't know.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
it's
can-
moved. It's gone now, wherever it
Oh
went.
yeah, there he is. Yep.
There he is.
Yeah, I see him now. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I could feel the evil.
Yeah.
There he is.
Oh
Now I
yeah.
totally see him.
Yeah,
we
Now
see
we're
him.
100% on board now. Okay.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
There you
cool.
go.
That's the one you thought got away.
Yeah. That son of a gun. I took. You can see how low the gravel is in this tank.
Right.
I don't know if you can see that tank. I can't see what you're seeing. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. That gravel is only like this deep. And I ran my fingers through it looking for that sucker. He was like gone. So then I took a small colander. I got the washing machine going because the dogs made a mess of their dog pad. There's a bucket right here full of gravel. See that?
Right.
And I put about 4 inches back into the tank. Got this bucket was almost all the way to the top of the substrate. So
Right.
anyway, all right. So I got the gravel all the way down to the bottom of the glass of the tank, and then I ran my fingers through that substrate,
Right.
and no wheel to be found. And I've got aluminum foil over the top of the tank because they said they are escape artists, and I thought, well, he got out, and probably one of the animals ate him.
Yeah.
Right. Probably just went on vacation, Alexis.
Do I?
He went on vacation and now he's back. Went on a
Yeah.
quick little trip. You know what I mean?
So I've got
I've seen a
Petco.
little. Yeah. Go ahead.
They ordered me 2 more. So now I'm going to have 3, I guess. I'm obligated, I guess.
Yeah.
So wait,
But maybe we'll have baby eels.
where did he end up turning up?
In the tank, right back where you started from. I'm like, are you kidding me?
How did you miss it?
That's the question. I think
It's not that
Lana,
big of a
whoever said-
tank. I hate to say it.
Oh.
Is it a ninja fish?
It was on vacation. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
If you find like a little boarding pass somewhere for Bora Bora or some shit, and you know what happened.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. You know,
They
it
do with
just
the Daytona for spring break.
Alexa, there is no fish.
so. This is our bigger tank here. This is a 65,
Oh,
It's a glitch in the matrix.
and this is
Oh,
This is
look at
sugar
that
baby.
kitty.
say hi, sugar.
There is no cow.
Sugar.
There is no cat.
But anyway,
Just leave it
here's
to
some.
your imagination.
Oh yeah, got some barbs and oh, you got some fancy tail goldfish and angel. Wow, never
Yeah.
seen a pink one before.
Yeah, it's kind of a pink, kind of like that Pepto Bismol that Jeff's been
Yeah.
drinking. It's probably what happened. I was drinking Jeff's stuff.
Oh, you got some goldfish. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I had a koi in there that was about 4 inches long. Well,
Oh
maybe
wow.
3, but it died. I don't know
Oh.
what happened to it. I think I know what happened to it, but I don't know for definite. I don't. The fish. These tinfoil barbs that are in this smaller tank that I was over here by the TV. They. I think they tore him up.
Oh.
So I took them out of those tinfoil barbs used to be over in the 65-gallon tank, and I put them over in the 35 because I was getting really ticked off at them because they were killing my small fantail goldfish. The big goldfish that are fantails, those big orange ones, they
So
were
your,
just too big.
so your plan was to eviscerate them with the tinfoil? They're
Well,
pissing me
and
off.
there is
So
no such thing, I guess, as tinfoil, but it's called aluminum foil. But these
I call
fish,
whatever I damn well please, woman.
well, you can do whatever you want.
Nah.
But
You
what I'm
go ahead
saying
and be
is,
wrong.
it's yeah. I mean, I
It's
can't help. I
colloquially
can't
known as
stop you from
tinfoil.
being wrong, but
Mhm.
anyway, they're actually called tinfoil barbs. And I go, you sure that's called tinfoil? They said, yeah, that's the name of the fish. I'm like, okay. But you can see why I have like, and see here, my job never ends. There's already pee on the floor. I gotta clean that up.
No.
Yeah.
So
Why I don't have any pets?
that dog
It's
is
a lot of
staying with
hassle.
him. That's our Siberian Husky. And
You
then
got to
there's
pen
two
those when you
doggos.
leave for sure.
Oh no, they were out for the whole week. They were out. I mean, I'd come back every day. Ryder, come here. Come here, Ryder. I can lift the lid. Come here, Ryder.
Yeah, my
Come
shih
here.
tzus never do that.
He's like, I'm
Oh,
not.
tired. Wants to go to bed.
Well, actually, Bella used to pee, but she got really, really scared during fireworks.
And
Mm.
this is
She
Sheba.
piddle herself.
He's a
She hasn't done that in
Sheba's an
years, though.
Australian Shepherd, and then that's Jasper, our $13,000 surgery dog. That's Sheba. Sheba's gorgeous.
Got some expensive
They're all
hobbies.
gorgeous.
Hobbies.
My work never ends. Oh, and this is Spice. This is the best baby of all the babies.
No.
My 23 pound, or well, it usually goes between 21 and a half and 23 pounds.
Wow.
That's a big kitty.
That's a lot of pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Another glitch in the matrix. That white on her chest just got bigger. I just noticed it.
What white on whose chest?
There is no cat.
Spice.
Oh, Spice is a boy.
Ah.
It doesn't matter.
No,
Pussy anyway.
Tammy Jean and Max, they have a dog named Jasper. I just showed
Right.
you. The 13,000. So we have a Jasper, and their cat's name I think is Ice, and our cat's name is Spice. It's just like, wow, that's really close, you know?
Yeah.
I gotta get you some food. Gotta make sure all the animals are fed before I leave. I gotta add water to their water bowl tank. Oh wait, I can't leave the dogs in. They can't get to the water. Oh, jeez. Well, anyway. Well, I guess my job really won't end because tomorrow when I get home.
Now make sure you take care of yourself though.
Yeah.
Because you're no good.
Well,
you're no good at
I'll
Jeff
worry
if
about
you're.
that after. I mean,
Yeah,
that's why I
but
had to eat. I was going to stop at some fast food restaurant. I'm thinking, no, I don't go home and eat. I mean, Denny
Yeah.
Moore's not the best food, but it's not the worst.
Right.
And
I
it's
didn't-
tasty too.
It is
Yes.
good. It is.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I always liked anymore.
Yeah, I always
No.
liked Denny more too.
Yeah.
and that stuff will last for 100 years.
You what? For the last couple of years?
I said that Denty Moore stuff. It's like it has an expiration date, but I don't think it applies to that. Stuff's like
But you remember when we were kids, there were no such thing as expiration dates on anything.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My mom used to say all the time. She'd say, and my dad, if it's not, if the can isn't bowed out, it's
Hold
good.
out. Yeah. It's still
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
It's got botulism
Yep.
or something. So
So what do you think? Is this can of spam still good?
spam is
see.
never
I don't
good.
It
think
wasn't good
Spanish-
to begin with. Blech.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't think it
that's
expired.
the only thing.
It says best by March 2011.
Yeah. Might be
Oh,
a
there you
little
go.
old. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
you
good. It's not
2011.
voted
Yeah.
out. It's good.
That's true.
It's not.
That's the only thing that got that today was a little packet of spam.
It's a collector's item. This is spam honey grail. It's a collector's item from the
Holy Grail?
from the movie from.
Oh, excuse me.
It says Wicked Awesome Spam-A-Lot Collector's Edition.
Oh, okay.
Spam.
Okay.
Ah.
But
From Monty
Oh,
You can
Python.
imagine you got a room full of groceries from
Monty
movie
Python.
takeoff.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you could have a room full of that. Every time I go into the store, they're doing some kind of,
I don't know. I think
some cereal or
that was
some.
given to me by an
whatever.
old fella. I haven't seen that around. You can find them on the internet, but they're not as common as you think.
Oh, I would imagine it's not common at all.
I don't know. Spam sold a lot in every country in the world. So
yep.
And people collected them though. That's what I'm saying. People saved them.
I bet you we should do a Google search right now. See if it can show.
Oh, I'm sure there's some. Don't get me wrong. There's some. Out of the millions that were sold, there might be 50,000 that are still around. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just
'Cause
saying,
most
but
people bought
out
them
of
and
millions
ate
that
it,
were
yeah.
sold, or they threw it away once
better
it
if there
was.
was less
They
than that. I
said,
could
"Holy
get some-
shit!"
I'd rather there be 12. Then that might
Yeah.
be worth something to somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I recognize you're right that it probably sold a shit of them. Anybody ever saved any of that Billy beer? The Jimmy Carter's brother beer.
Yeah.
I know somebody that has like a 4 or 5 6-packs of it.
Yeah.
Laying around their house.
Let me see.
Like Josh says, people collect anything. He's right.
Yep.
You got that right. No, guys, they collect drones.
Some guys collect wives.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta put this water jug in.
Some people collect Atari computers. Yep.
Some people collect child support payments.
No
There
shit.
you go.
I know people like that.
Yep.
Oh, this one's signed. There's a
By who?
can like mine.
Signed by who?
$100. I can't read it.
It doesn't say in the description. I
Oh,
was just curious.
All right, let me see full description. All
Uh,
it says is
Graham
Monty
Stack.
Python Spam Collector's Edition Spam Love sealed can, signed. Can is signed. Can has signed by who? You? Can is
Yeah,
for collectors.
exactly.
Collectors only well past expiration date. Shit, Sherlock. But
No
how about
shit,
telling us who
dipshit.
signed it? It looks like Michael.
John Gleason. I mean, John
I mean,
Gleason,
I can-
Michael.
yeah,
What's
I
his
can
nuts?
show it to you if you want to see it.
Sure, if you
Yeah.
want.
That would be nice.
Maybe okay.
Or do the cans come signed, pre-signed? You know what I mean?
They probably have them numbered, and then the guy
Oh, they're
signs.
printed.
This looks like it was signed. I mean, it really does.
Could you imagine? Hey, Mr. Gleason, could you sign my can of spam?
Yeah. It looks like
That looks like live ink to me.
it looks like Cleese.
No, I'll go along with that.
And it's just exactly the same can.
But come down to the top, and
Can't
I'd have
read
to
that.
look at the names of the people involved in the movie.
Right.
Well, it looks like M is the first letter. So,
Yeah,
Right.
Michael.
there's Michael Palin.
Michael
But I
Palin,
don't see.
yeah.
I don't see it.
Yeah, but I don't see a P there.
No
That's
P.
for sure.
No.
I would say A or O for the last name.
I thought it was a C and an H. So
You mean like right here?
C and L. Yeah.
Maybe, but that's some really piss poor handwriting if it's a C and an H.
Oh
That
yeah.
could be a W, bro.
Yeah.
Look, starts here, loops around. I do that with my W's, like
Right.
this, and then back up.
And that could be an H or L. I don't know.
Usually that
Like I
what
said,
they'll
we'd have
do in the description, they'll put the
You would think
Oh,
Josh, this
Well,
looks
that's
like
what I
muddy
would
waters.
do.
if it's anybody worth knowing.
Muddy Waters. That's
Yeah.
not bad, except for that A looking thing.
What's this? Oh, that's the signed one. What is this one? Oh, it's thin wafer mints. Raving Toy Maniac.
I got no better to do. I'm looking right now.
Not a lot. I don't think that's
Yeah.
the only one I've seen so far. So fair.
hmm
That's strange.
Yeah,
Could be
there's
more
just
people.
really no A's here. I'm like, and the only M is like you said, Michael Palin.
Michael Palin's the only one I
Right.
could think of.
I'm looking and there's really none.
Could be Monty Python, but there's no P.
That'd be hilarious. Somebody signed in Monty Python.
Yeah, it could be just that this guy does not know who signed it. I mean,
Could
you know
be.
what I mean?
Yeah.
He may have no idea.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
about
he probably bought it from somebody, thinking, oh, it's signed, and then like, oh, wait a minute, who the hell is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, all of the autographs I have, I know where each one of them came from and who it is that signed them.
hmm
Judy loved collecting signatures, so
Right.
we have like 2 or 3 albums full of photos that we've, like Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner.
What do you think about Chapman? But then I don't see Graham in the first name.
Graham Chapman.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
Yeah,
Is this still up?
Oh, John Cleese. Who
Oh, it's
is
not up
that?
anymore.
It's not them. Terry Gilliam. None of them.
Yeah.
Terry
Which
Jones, the one that
Jones.
died.
Terry Jones. All of them now. pretty much.
Almost all of them at this
Yeah,
point, right?
yeah.
Oh,
John Cleese still alive? He's still alive, isn't
Yeah, he's still alive.
John Cleese is still alive, I think.
And Eric Idle still alive.
Eric Idle. Oh yeah, Eric Idle. I forgot about him too.
I'd have to go with Michael Palin, but it's some of the worst handwriting I've seen in a long time.
Graham
Yeah.
Chapman died very young, actually.
Graham Chapman, that's the one that died young.
That's what you're
Yeah,
thinking of. Yeah.
yeah. Couldn't
But do you
remember
think
who it
they'd
was.
know that if it was him? It might be just somebody that was like, who knows? Who knows? There might be somebody just wrote on top of it, for God's sakes. They say it's signed, though. They make a big deal of it signed, but they don't bother to tell you who signed it. That's what the weird part.
Well,
Josh says the cashier at the store that he bought it from signed it on the way out.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's signed.
How about Richard Burton? Maybe Richard Burton signed it.
Oh,
You know, I couldn't wait to hear the argument from the guy. Like if you meet him in person, go, well, it's obviously somebody associated with the picture. I said,
Like who?
well, right? Well, why is that obvious? And why couldn't it be anybody? So, what do you mean? What kind of a grown man would sign the top of a can of, can of ham or canned ham? There's your, it must be somebody associated with the film. Why else would somebody sign it? Because you're a thief.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you know why it's called spam?
Oh, I think salted pork
yeah, salted
Yeah.
pork
Salted and
meat.
ham.
and ham. Yep.
And ham. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or shoulder pork and ham. Is
Shoulder
what
pork.
I was
Yeah,
told.
that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Well,
Yeah, shoulder pork and ham.
have an
Yeah.
H on the end instead of an M.
Huh?
No. Is that why it stands for? Did you guys look it up already?
A long time ago,
I heard it before, but
I'd
I
heard it a
I
long
couldn't
time
remember
ago.
it
Shoulder
correctly.
pork and ham.
But hey, spam had its place in the world, man. A lot of people couldn't eat any meat at all if it wasn't for spam.
Yeah, they left
Here,
out the H, so they got
Corn
shoulder
Wars.
pork ham. They didn't put an H in there, but
No H.
You guys are
No,
wrong. Especially processed American meat. I thought so.
is that what it is?
Aye.
Yeah. I'm like, what? Because there ain't no
Well, that's
ham
what I was-
involved with spam.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
it could have
think.
been
Yes,
Could
it
have
is.
been the damn trimmings off a ham, when they brought
Yeah, there could be some ham involved, I guess, but
There's some parts of pig that you don't normally, that
No.
don't make it,
no, hold on now.
don't quite make it to the hot dog level.
No,
Yep.
let me make it to
Yeah.
let me make my point though. Ham is a very specific product that's been cured and all that shit, right? Otherwise, it's
yeah.
a pork shoulder,
Well, if it wasn't
right, or
stick in the
whatever.
first place, you wouldn't have to do that. Just saying,
Yep.
ham's okay. I like pork better. Nice pork gravy,
It was
Oh, hold on,
specially
though.
processed.
pork and sauerkraut. Yeah.
Hold on, I might be wrong, so hang on there.
Yep.
What do you
Maybe a
mean?
red letter day.
What are you talking
I
about?
jumped to
baloney
conclusions.
has a first name. It's Oscar. My baloney has
That's
a
not what it
second
is.
name. It's
Mayar.
Mayer. And if
Oh, I
you
love
ask
to eat it
why
every day, and it. No, no, it's not.
I
Oh, I love to eat it
Oscar
every day, and if
Mayer
you
has a way of getting around FDA.
love to eat it every day, and if you ask me why, I'll say that Oscar Mayer has a way with BOLOGNA. It's amazing. How many years ago was that?
Yeah.
Oh my
50?
God, that was at
55,
least.
60.
I still
It's
remember every
I was
fucking
going to say
word of
it's
that.
getting close to 60.
I mean, to talk about marketing, man, still remember every word of that stupid
Right.
commercial.
Yeah. What about the Oscar Mayer Wiener song?
Well, I wish I was an Oscar Mayer
Oh, I
wiener.
wish it was Oscar Wiener.
Oscar Mayer Wiener.
Everyone where they want
No,
to
you missed the whole
be.
point. It's what I really want to be, because if I was an Oscar Mayer wiener,
everybody would be.
everyone would be in love with me.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
That's
how
sad
cool
that this
would
show.
it be to have that car, that Wiener mobile?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the wiener. I saw the wiener mobile.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or how about one of the original Batmobiles? I think they made 3 of them. And
Three
it
of
was
them. Yeah.
Never saw one up close. No.
it was based on a what is it? The name of the car was the Futura,
It's a
but they
Ford.
never made it. It was yeah.
Ford
was,
Fairlane Futura, probably.
Yes, that's right. And they made 3 of them. And yeah. That was a cool looking car back in the day.
Back in the days, yeah.
They did put some effort into that thing.
Yep.
Even if you didn't think it was cool, I mean, for that era of television, they definitely put some effort into that. Everybody loved that car.
Mm-hmm. How about the Munster Mobile?
Everybody loved
Oh,
that
that
car.
was cool.
Yeah, that one too.
How
How about the dragster?
Yeah, Al Lewis's
You can't
grandpa's dragster. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
on an episode of oh shit. They redid that one. Oh, they
Yeah.
did one of them, because there's more than one, obviously, but it was brought into this shop by the guy that designed them originally for the TV series, and he had one of the originals, and they
Right.
they redid it. They did it, they did it up, made it like new. The fuck
Right.
show is that?
Oh, there you go. There's Lloyd in the Batmobile.
Yep.
It's on the
Wow.
Bat phone.
Well, you've done everything, haven't you? That's it. That's the evidence right there.
Yeah, your bucket is obviously empty. Your bucket list is obviously empty.
Yeah, it's pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you. Let's take it for a spin
Oh,
around the
there
block
you
a couple
go.
times.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I did
Hey,
that.
so I'm wrong, by the way. The brother-in-law just spit the name out. He just came up with it out of nowhere. Nobody knows exactly. There's no real. He just came up with it at a dinner party or some shit.
I'm sorry, I lost track. What are we talking about?
No, I'm just back to spam. I was reading the whole story. The brother of the president of Hormel says that they just were talking about it at a dinner party, and a guy just spit the name out, and that's what they did. That's what they went with. So.
Yeah, I went to Comic-Con with my son, and they had the Knight Rider up there. They had the DeLorean, but you couldn't sit in the DeLorean. But
Oh, from Back to the Future.
I don't know that I'd
Future,
want to.
yeah.
I heard they're pretty tight inside.
Yeah, it did.
Giggity.
Yeah. There's the DeLorean, and we were talking about Spam-A-Lot and Monty Python. They were
Cool.
yeah. That's my
happened to
that
be
was
dressed,
my
just happened to be
Yeah.
dressed that way.
well now that was my youngest son, so he dressed that way for the. I dressed as a grumpy old man. That's why I
Oh.
didn't.
Wow, that was a stretch for you.
Yeah, it was.
You
yeah,
went out. You really went out on a limb. Out on a limb.
I
You're
know,
quite
I-
an
I did,
actor,
yeah.
Lloyd. Wow. Academy Award, anyone?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody thought it was cool. Thought I looked really like a grumpy old man.
Yeah, well,
There
wow,
are
like
some
I
weird.
said.
You run into weird people at that place, like
Linda the good bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
Glenda.
Glinda. Yeah, Glinda. Yeah.
Glenda.
Where was that?
I was in Tulsa. They had a Comic-Con up there.
Oh, in a Comic-Con. I was
or-
going to say,
Say
what?
Comic Con, man. Go to one
Yeah.
now, Lloyd. Do you think that one? I don't know how long ago that was. Go to one now, son. Bring
went-
lots of Kleenex with you.
I
Because
went to a GalaxyCon last year, Pat.
oh,
That's in
okay.
Oklahoma City. So, yeah, and I actually saw George Takei while I was there. Jesus
That's kinda
Christ,
cool.
has he gotten old?
Yeah,
He
the
looks
guy's
like
80
he looks
now.
like somebody's little Japanese grandfather. You know, he's all white-headed now and everything. Like,
Well, he
Jesus.
could be great grandpa. He's like what?
Yeah,
He's
great grandpa. Yeah, great
in his
Yeah.
80s. You know, I believe.
Hell, I'm a great grandfather, so yeah, he's a hell of a lot older than me, but he's and
You know
saw
what?
the
He's still
Undertaker there,
better
too.
looking than you, though. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
yeah,
my.
yeah, he
snap.
is, you know.
Oh my!
Oh snap! Well, oh,
Oh,
my.
my.
Well, he's been on a zinc and protein diet for a few decades, so.
Yeah.
87 years old.
Yeah.
So, cut him some slack there, Lloyd.
Yeah.
Do it?
I want to
Yeah,
go.
80
My bucket list, if I
87.
can make it, is to go to one in Japan, a Kamitse in Tokyo. It's like a Comic Con, and usually 200,000 people show up over a weekend or so. And
Well,
yeah.
And
this
is
one
it
up there, they had all these anime
English?
characters. Like, are you? You know,
Is
it was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
is it spoken
Yeah.
in English? I'm not sure I want to go if it was Japanese.
That was one of that was a makeup job on one of the people.
Yeah.
that was a nice boobs on her,
face
though.
ripped off. Yeah,
Sean
Uh.
Sean Oz would do something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, she had two colored eyes and two different colored eyes,
Yeah.
I should say, is what I'm trying to say.
They said colored guys.
Yeah.
Two colored
Probably
guys.
had those too.
Actually, no, one was colored, the other one was white. So it's like one was gold and the other one was white.
But I tell you what, Biden, not to get in, are we still live? Because Biden said that the other day in
Yeah, I
his
know,
speech.
colored kids.
He said that. He said colored kids.
Yeah,
He
that's
said
right.
colored kids in this country. I'm like, oh my God, dude. It just
Yeah,
never
but
stops.
you know what? And
Bro.
not to defend him, but he shouldn't have shared that part of his little story. But he did intro that little stupid statement with, at the time,
Yeah.
like known, at the time, that's what they were, that's what, you know what I'm saying? He didn't think anything of it.
Oh, so if I tell a story about from back before the Civil War, I can drop the N-word then, right? If I'm a white guy.
Colored isn't
If
the
I'm-
same
if-
as is not the same as the N-word. It's just
Not the same, but it's in the same wheelhouse, though.
Yeah, but it's not.
It can be. It can be. It depends on who you're talking to.
Because
we don't get to
especially
decide
nowadays,
who gets
because
offended,
people call
right?
themselves people of color. So it really doesn't have to sting. Maybe it did once upon a time. I don't know.
I remember when people used to get really pissed when they called them colored because it's like I wasn't colored. I was born this.
I know,
this
but over the
shade.
last 20
I
years,
wasn't colored.
Yeah.
being a person of
You know what I
color,
mean?
Yeah,
But
things have changed. I mean, 'cause my mother, she used that term all the time. And
Right.
and whenever she talk about the colored doctor or the colored I said, what color are they? I said, they brown, they black,
She
they,
didn't necessarily mean anything.
She didn't mean anything by it. That
She said
that was
black.
the
Would you have been
polite.
upset? I mean, black. I guess is still okay. I don't know. Every year things
It
change.
comes and goes.
It comes. You know what I mean?
It comes and goes. It's really weird.
African American, It's too long.
I don't like that for an American. But
I know you're an American. I understand
I
that.
just,
It
I
makes
just
no
think
sense.
they're
It makes
really
no-
American.
What are you gonna do? Call me an Italian American all day? It's stupid. Or an Irish American or a Mick or McGinney.
I'm a Gimp
Huh?
American.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a play.
yeah.
I'm a grumpy American.
Well, if I wanted to go way back, I'd be a Crip American.
You're a Crip instead of a Blood.
Yeah.
You moved to Chicago and joined the Crips.
Well, I got the blood.
I've noticed here lately, and I can't remember who it was, but it's been on a couple different shows, and they've been using the R word, in respect to somebody's mentality, and I haven't heard that word used.
Retarded.
Yeah, retarded. Yeah, I haven't heard them use that.
Yeah.
God, years. And
Oh, I know.
It comes and goes. It's weird.
yeah, and it has, and of course they mean it the way
Yeah.
most of us like, you're such a retard, and
Yeah.
that was,
Beep.
but having a grandson that has autism, you kind of look at things different now, when you're in have a different perspective on stuff.
Well,
but,
that was my point about whether or not it's okay to call somebody colored or not or whatever. You don't get to choose for somebody else what they're offended by. You know what I mean?
right? Yeah, and that's
Just
true
like
too.
before
Right,
you
if
had a
it
kid.
offends them, then don't use it. That's all. Nobody's going to force that kind of an issue.
Yeah, because
You know?
I've heard
Yeah,
that from people before too, where the guy got all mad because his kid was special needs. And somebody used the R word, for lack of a better term. I'll go along with that. So fine. And then he wanted to get all mad, but 10 years prior, he was probably dropping it every other sentence. You know what I mean? Because we used to use that a lot.
Yeah,
Are you retarded? We used to say that all the time. That was a big
time,
You'll
insult
say it now by
when I was a
accident
kid.
every once in a while, and you know what? You don't mean anything by it. You're not really talking about an
No,
actual.
You're describing
an
a
actual
problem.
person
You're
that's-
describing something.
You know how many of those people I know? We host Special Olympics in the bowling center. They come in every week, every Saturday. I know many of them. If I ever said anything like that, I'm not thinking of them or anybody
No,
else.
no.
I've actually donated time actually as a kid working with those folks.
Well, that was a medical term for decades. That's the medical term for it. Mentally retarded.
Retarded
is
mental
a
development.
medical term. Yeah.
Retarded mental development. It's not off. It's not off. It's not off.
If something doesn't catch fire, that's called flame.
Fire retardant.
Fire retardant. Yeah.
Yeah, but however,
yeah,
if it offends them, then I'll refrain from using it because I don't need to use it.
Is that
you won't know it until you use it.
Even though it means nothing from me to them, if it bothers them, why should it bother?
Right.
And so I just don't use it at all. There's other words you could use like dum dum, poop head.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, people that take on other people's offense is always blows my mind too. I had a girlfriend once. So I've had a couple that were like this, and they got all offended when anybody said anything about black people because they were dating a black person. All of a sudden now, all of a sudden you got to fight the black man's battle or some crap because you're getting banged by one. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. You're suddenly African American because you got some black dick in you. It's retarded. It's like my DNA transfer something made you part black. So you got to take offense, because you swallowed some black cum and all of a sudden you're a freaking black person.
What time
that shit
is it?
cracks me up. Dude, ain't nobody watching this shit, are they?
They're still live. Yeah.
12 people. There were 13 a second ago.
Oh, my bad. No, but it just blows my mind. And she gets so mad. And she was probably the first one to drop the N-word 2 years prior, probably, because she was Southern as hell. In fact, her grandpa was a member of the Ku Klux Klan and whatnot in North Carolina.
This story can't be true. I think Josh is telling stories. Read this story.
Red Target.
Red Target.
Yeah.
That sounds like a joke to me. I don't know.
Assumed outrage is ridiculous, is all I'm saying. It's retarded. It's just stupid. And like I'm supposed to know you have a special needs kid at your house when I'm talking to you.
realized when I checked out and a lady asked me to confirm my email address. Yeah.
So he didn't even know at the time. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it was actually that guy's opinion of you. Do you ever think of that? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
target.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe it was a statement.
yeah. I get tired of that.
Come
That's all.
kick his
That's my rant
ass.
for the day. Yeah.
Mhm.
People that assumed outrage for other people.
He
I
says
love,
it's
you know, it's
absolutely
just-
true. It's in Georgetown by DC. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe.
I
you
used to
say-
live in
I
Georgetown.
can see that happening
true. I'm
too.
not going to doubt you.
Yeah. No, I could see it happening. It's just our
I
target.
can see it too.
Red target. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to live in Georgetown, so I fully agree. They're woke as hell up in that piece. 20 years ago, they invented woke over there.
Well,
Mm.
and what gets me is like all of the people that really take the offense.
Mhm.
They have no horse in the race. You know, they're
Right.
No connection.
yeah, no connection. They're white as I am. You know, but English Scandinavian background,
Yeah.
but they get offended by those words, and you know, for other people, and like, all right,
Right.
if somebody tells me that I shouldn't say that word, and they're from that particular race or creed or whatever religion, whatever, you know, and okay, that's fine. But some crazy ass white person comes up and says I shouldn't say that. Like, who died and left you in charge of the
Right.
dictionary? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bill sent me a video today from SNL. So like probably the last funny skit they ever
Yeah.
had is 8 years ago.
Yeah, that was
And
fun.
the dog said that to her. The dog said that to her. He's like,
Yeah.
you've never even had a black person in your house. So why are you acting like
Yeah.
you've never even had a black person in your house, man? How are you gonna act like all of a sudden you're the mouthpiece for black people?
Mhm.
You know, it's ridiculous. Those are the first ones, man.
I
They're
think
the
that's more
absolute first
offensive
ones.
that's more offensive than actually using the word sometimes, because it's
Right.
that fake what do they call
Fake
that?
outrage,
Fake
virtue
outrage.
signaling.
Yeah, outrage. Yeah.
Yeah. Virtue
Indignation.
signaling.
It all depends on how far you want to call yourself cultured. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
me, you know, I'm not from the same background or culture. I guess from guys from other regions of the country, we have our differences, whatever. But in the history of the world, when people don't know each other that well, they try to respect each other's culture and not cause a problem. You know,
Right. Right.
you're starting to sound like a mafioso. You know, I mean, you if something offends them, you don't use it unless you mean to offend them.
Right.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? So that's all.
Yeah.
It's just simple as that. There's a billion other words. Well, maybe not a billion, but there's quite a few other words that you could use
Right.
in the
Yeah.
universe
Right.
besides whatever bothers them.
Right.
You know, it's not a big deal.
Right.
And just because you don't mean anything by it's not the point. It bothers them. So all right, I just won't use
Right.
it.
So you don't use it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Well, yeah. Well, like I said, you get people can be offended, like motherfucker. That's one of those words that I've seen people get in fights over, because
yeah.
what it means is someone that has sex with their own mother.
Right. Right.
You know, and if you take it that way, punk is another one. I once saw my dad punch somebody in the mouth because he called him a punk.
Really.
Oh yeah, because in certain parts of the country at certain times, punk means that you were homosexual.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So you call somebody a punk, you call him, I don't want to use that word because he's still alive, but you call him the F word that means gay. Okay.
Right.
If you call somebody that, they're gonna knock you in your mouth. When I was a kid, if somebody called you the F word that means gay, I'm gonna bust you in your mouth, son, because I'm gonna make sure you understand that is not the case.
Well, stop.
You know what I mean?
I just wanted a cigarette, bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no,
Yeah,
if you call my dad a punk, but he's gonna punch you in your mouth.
Not that one.
Wait.
The other one. The other.
They're barely gonna be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cigarette.
Yeah, because
That's one
in
thing I learned
England,
from my
that's what
dad. That
they-
arguing stuff ain't happening.
Yeah, in the UK,
hit or don't hit.
that's what they call a
Right.
cigarette. You know, is a
Well,
FAG.
Yeah.
and there might have been some Americans swinging at people in Europe during
You
World
got
War
a
II. You know what I'm
faggot
saying?
now?
I can imagine. Yeah.
You think we're giving out faggots on every street corner?
Say what? What?
What?
What? You know. So
Can I
no,
have
man. Well, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, can I have a? I don't know if you can have it or not, but I don't want to be around if you got it.
Right. No, it's you get all a bunch of girls and you standing around going, bitch, really, bitch? I don't know, bitch.
Yeah, yeah,
Some dude
yeah.
walks up and says, what you bitches doing? And
Smack.
next thing I know, smack.
Yeah.
Exactly. So same thing with the N-word, same thing with any racial epithet. You guys run around calling each other whatever you want, and
They
third party
use,
walks up and
I know, and I know a lot of the Aussies I talk to, when we're not on camera or anything, we want to talk. They use the F word or the C word, they're
right
all the
constantly.
time. It's
Yeah,
like
that
they
word
just
that's just commonly used. It's not even like a curse. It's not even like a
yeah,
curse.
no, it's just part
I mean,
of
it
it.
is, but it's more of an insult.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I
And
remember
a
when
light
South
one
Park
at
did
that.
the
You might call your mate a C, and
Right.
yeah.
not mean anything by it. So it's actually a very
Right.
flexible word.
Yeah.
From what
Remember
I
in
can
the
tell.
South Park when they said shit like 400 times because prior to that you couldn't say shit on TV. So South Park had a version, had a episode where
something
they said
happen if
shit
you
like
said-
100 times, and he said the word of curse, and it ended up cursing them somehow. I forget, but once they said it 100 times or whatever, it they were cursed or whatever, or poop started shooting out of a book or something. I forget.
Yeah.
Something really horrible happened. Some monster came out of the sewer or something like that. I forget, but
Josh, I was reading that last part that Josh says. I hadn't thought about that because he says they could have mistaken what he said because of his speech problem. So yeah.
Well, guys, it's been 3 hours and
yeah, there's been a long one,
and I really need to get out of this chair. I'm very so I think
all right.
Start saying goodbye to everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Alexis, we hope he gets better.
Fun.
We hope it's not cancer, something they can get rid of. Knock the wood. And thanks, guys. Josh, you were really lighting up the chats. I wasn't ignoring you, by the way.
Yep.
Well, maybe a little.
I was glad to see Josh in here too. Yeah.
He
was a really nice guy.
Met him at the meetup.
Yep.
So anyway, guys,
Great
let's
guy.
say goodbye, and we'll do it now.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Oh, that's the wrong one, you jackass.
How's that wrong one, you retard?
There it is. Well, now it's
The
time to say
Artard.
goodbye to Bill and all the Thank you all for coming, and we hope you will subscribe. You're all invited back next week to watch another show. We're all too drunk and tired, so we're gonna have to
gone. Too good to come in tonight.
Welcome back now. You hear?
This has been a Bill Ways presentation.